You're catching the game at home. Surfside is only 100 calories with 0 bubbles, so it goes down easy. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
The stories you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Since Packers running back Josh Jacobs was arrested and booked into the Brown County Jail, it has been 30 days since he was released from jail, with no charges being filed. I cannot tell you today whether said pursuit is still ongoing, or whether even if it isn't, because DA Lissay's office won't get back to me. I also reached out to the attorneys for Josh Jacobs. They didn't get back to me, which I think is curious. Now, they don't have to, but I thought they'd want to put the heat on the DA, say, hey, clear our guy. Right. Say you're not going to charge him.
Only here on WTMJ.
Step in, keep your eye on what matters, and when that moment comes, you take a nice swing.
That's what Milwaukee can do this summer. Not with a bat, but with a life-saving blood donation. Join Versity and Brewers Community Foundation for a ticket to summer, July 6th and 7th at American Family Field. Donate blood to support Wisconsin patients facing emergencies, cancer treatment, surgeries, and more. As a thank you, you'll receive 2 Milwaukee Brewers tickets and a post-donation buffet lunch. Help save lives with Versity. Schedule today at versity.org.
The Brewers Radio Network salutes all those who serve or have served our country.
Hey everyone, Jessica Ty from Wisconsin's Midday News. I want to give a special shout out to the Marine in my life, my niece, First Lieutenant Sophie Tasker of Elm Grove. She's currently stationed in Okinawa, Japan. A big thank you to Sophie for her service, to all the troops currently serving, and our beloved veterans.
Salute the Troops is sponsored by Discount Liquor, Mission 94, and Great Midwest Bank.
Freebie in the Fifth is back. In the middle of the fifth inning, listen for the cue to call to win 2 tickets and a parking pass to EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Diamondbacks have taken the field. They've got the purple tops on tonight. We wish you a great start to your Independence Day weekend, along with Lane Grindle, Josh Maurer. And it's going to be a long road trip for the Brewers beginning tonight, leading into the All-Star break. First of 11 games on this trip is Game 1 against the Snakes. Wrapping up the on-deck show built by Menards with a drive around the league. The other games involving the Central Division teams tonight have all gone final. This brought to you by Construction Business Group. Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors building Wisconsin together. This afternoon at Wrigley, the Cubs had their 5-game winning streak snapped, and how by the St. Louis Cardinals. How about 17-1? The Redbirds got 10 runs off of David Peterson and 7 runs off of Bryce Wilson. A couple of guys that pitched very well against the Brewers last weekend. They got bumped. So the Cubs are now 5.5 games behind the Brewers, and St. Louis back within 7 games of the division leaders. They're in 3rd place. Pirates just lost in Washington 9-5. The Nationals hit 5 homers, 2 from Luis Garcia Jr. and 2 from Dalen Lyle included. And so Pittsburgh is 2-3 on its road trip. They're now 11 games behind the Brewers in 4th place. And the Reds, well, they didn't carry that momentum of beating Miz yesterday into their series at home against the Orioles. They were shut out 3-0 tonight. Trevor Rogers, 5 scoreless to start that game for the Orioles. Fans, we're ready to roll with the game. Brought to you by Boucher Automotive Group. Start your journey with confidence. We ride with you every mile. Visit Boucher.com. And here to call it, it's my partner, Lane Grindle.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club. Cabrera's first pitch comes home to Yelich, and he misses outside, ball 1. Got underway at 6:45. Local time here in Arizona, 8:45 back home. Pitch is up and away to Yelich. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 103 outside. But the climate-controlled conditions in the 70s here inside at Chase Field. The pitch, Yelich took outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And I will tell you that 103 actually felt better when we landed last night and got off the plane on the tarmac than what it was feeling like back home in Wisconsin. Not near as muggy. It's a dry heat, as they say, and we felt that last night. The 3-0 to Yelich is up and away, and he walked him on 4 pitches. So a good start to this one for the Brewers. Ortho ASAP walk. And the Brewers have a base runner for Jackson Chourio, hitting .295, 12 home runs, and 33 driven in. Our quick trip around the bases presented by Mamba Candy. Today's contestant in the quick trip around the bases contest is Christopher Murer. It looks like Mauer, but it's an E instead of an A. First pitch to Churio is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. He's from Onalaska. If the Brewers score in the first inning, Christopher will win a $100 Quick Trip gift card, compliments of Mamba Candy and Quick Trip. Stop in and pick up a Mamba Magic Stick or Mamba Berry Tasty at Quick Trip. The 0-1. Churio takes down and away. They try to backpick Yelich. He's back in time. 1-1 strike on Jackson. That was a bit of a tongue twister there at the end. Yeah, I think I handled it okay, if you ask me.
I thought you handled Muir very well, too.
I think that's what it is. 1-1 strike on Churio. Cabrera kicks, delivers, and swung on and fouled straight back into the net. An elevated cutter at 87, and Churio had a pretty good rip at it. Just missed it, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. First pitch of Brewers baseball brought to you by Carbliss. Premium cocktails in a can. Stop at your local retailer and stock up for the game or for your next tailgate. Carbliss, less is more. Here's the 1-2 to Churio, and a tapper foul back behind home plate. The count remains 1-2. Defensively for the Diamondbacks, Gurriel is in left, Troy's in center, Carroll's in right. Arenado, the third baseman, Perdomo at short, Marte at second, Vargas the first baseman, Moreno does the catching. Cabrera looks in. And the 1-2 pitch to Churio, swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball down and away. And that's a big first out for Jose Cabrera. 24 years old, making his third career start. Had a brilliant start on Father's Day in his big league debut. Was a little bit more human his second time around. He went 5 scoreless in his first start. Rays got to him a little bit second time around, but overall the numbers still considerably good for a youngster as Bryce Terang takes a strike. It's 0-1. He's 0-1 with a 3.60 ERA in 10 innings over 2 starts and 4 runs allowed. Terang hitting .259, 12 home runs, 49 driven in on the year. Cabrera's 0-1 pitch, and Terang took down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Typically has been a strike thrower, a guy that wants to attack. Has a decent-sized mix of pitches that he'll throw at you. He can get up to 6 different pitches working over the course of a game. 1-1. And this one is lined out to right. It is going to carry out to Carroll, who's there to make the catch for the second out. Might have broke his bat on that soft liner into right field. 2 down for William Contreras. Contreras hitting .293, 9 home runs, 51 driven in on the year. He is our cleanup hitter today. Clean up any home damage with Loyal Family, located in Muskego, serving southeastern Wisconsin and across the state. Don't let the out-of-towners handle it. Call locally owned Loyal Family Renovations for a free inspection today. Yelich at first after the leadoff walk. There's 2 outs now for Contreras, and he takes a first pitch strike on a sweeper, and it's 0-1. David Rackley calls our balls and strikes. The crew chief is Chris Guccione over at first base. Nestor Ceja at second base. Charlie Ramos is the third base umpire. There goes Yelich. Now he puts on the brakes. They throw back behind him at first. He's back in there safely. The pitch was a ball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Contreras. Brewers wearing the baby blue tops and the gray pants. The Diamondbacks in the purple tops and the teal lid on the cap and the white pants. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, a chopper to short. Perdomo plays it and throws to second and gets Yelich, and the inning is over. Brewers get a leadoff walk. They strand a runner. We've played half an inning here at Chase Field. It's the Brewers nothing, and the Diamondbacks coming up on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
It's a summer of big wins with WinFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Just play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries and your chance to win cash and reward play all summer long. Then keep the excitement going because all your monthly drawing entries roll over into the WinFest final drawings on September 25th, where you could win cars, dream vacations, free play, and cash. Don't miss out on WinFest, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Stay informed with what's happening in the Badger State and beyond with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Why did he do this, allegedly? Well, he was trying to cash in to clear his gambling debts, but the Department of Justice is onto it.
Sounds like if he is convicted and he did indeed do this, he just got in way over his head.
Join us each weekday from noon until 3 p.m. or catch up anytime on our YouTube page or the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
The First Inning is brought to you by Lakeland University, your first choice for a flexible, career-focused education on your schedule. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
No scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Kyle Harrison to make his 16th start of the 2026 season. What a first half to the year he's had so far. 8-1 with a 2.57 ERA for Harrison. And he'll get Ketel Marte to lead things off for Arizona. Harrison, we keep talking, and I think it's going to continue to be a theme as long as he continues to pitch the way he has. We keep talking about that one outlier in Vegas, of course, where he gave up 8 runs in 2 1/3 innings. If you take that away, he has a 1.69 ERA. First pitch to Ketel Marte is a ground ball to short. Couple of hops out to Pratt. Picks it, throws to first in time, and 1 pitch and 1 out for Kyle Harrison to start up the bottom of the first inning, and that'll get Geraldo Perdomo to the plate for Arizona. Before the first pitch or after the final out, give your ride an all-star clean at Tsunami Express. Tsunami Express Car Wash, the official car wash of the Milwaukee Brewers. First pitch to Perdomo is high with a fastball at 95, and it's 1-0. Perdomo hitting .244, 5 home runs. He's driven in 31. Harrison's 1-0 pitch is a little bit high. It's 2 balls to no strikes. Of course, Perdomo switch hitter up there, right-handed. And now time is called briefly as Perdomo steps out of the box. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the first inning here in Arizona. Harrison kicks, delivers the 2-0. That's fouled back and into the press box next door. It's 2-1. Brewers defensively, left, right in the outfield. Churio, Mitchell, Frelick. Hamilton's at the hot corner tonight. Pratt's the shortstop, already checked up on him. That one missed high with a fastball at 96. It's 3-1. Terang at second base, Bowers at first, Contreras does the catching of Harrison. And the 3-1 pitch, that's right through there for a strike. A fastball at 96. And the count is full at 3-2. Harrison looks in through his glove, and the 3-2 pitch. Fouled out of play first base side. We will do it again at 3-2. Last start against the Cubs, 5 innings, 3 hits, just the 2 runs allowed. Pitched into the 7th inning, the start before that in Atlanta against the Braves. This one's a ground ball to second base. Rolls out to Terang. Plenty of time to tap the glove and throw to first and retire Perdomo. 2 away for Corbin Carroll. Carroll, one of the more, I would say, underrated or understated stars in the game of baseball. I think anybody that follows the game on a daily basis understands how exceptional his tools are. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Fastball at 97 from Harrison. And it's 0-1. But sometimes gets overlooked when you talk about the best players in the game. 0-1. That's up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he's got it all. He's got power. He can run. Good defender. Good arm. Very little that Corbin Carroll can't do. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. And he nailed the outside corner with that slurve. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's the first non-fastball he has thrown in this game so far. The pitch sprayed foul and out of play, third base side. 1-2 here on Corbin Carroll still. He has leaned into the fastball in this first inning. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the first. Harrison brings home the 1-2 pitch. He missed high with the fastball, and it's 2-2. Lefty-lefty matchup with Carroll. You've got the right-handed hitting Gabriel Moreno in the on-deck circle for Arizona. The pitch down and away with a sinking fastball. And the count levels at 2 balls and 2, or I should say the count climbs to 3 balls and 2 strikes on Carroll. Harrison again looks in. Here's the 3-2. And he checked. It didn't matter. It's a called strike with a slurve on the outside corner. Harrison strikes out Carroll. And he works a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. We go to the second inning. No score on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Sunday Brewer games are for families. Score 4 tickets, lunch, and parking with the Family Sunday Bundle for just $85 all in. Plus exclusive kids giveaways, Sunday autographs, kids run the bases, and more. Visit brewers.com/Family Sundays for details.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
All right, if you live in Wisconsin and you're not eating dairy, I got questions. Because this is a state where Farm MacGyver fixes equipment with duct tape and hope. Where farm talkers film chores like it's content. So support your local dairy farmers. Just look for the Proudly Wisconsin Dairy Badge. Then drink the milk, eat the cheese, melt the butter. Don't skip on the ice cream. And visit borntodairy.com to meet the farmers behind it all. Because around here, dairy isn't optional. We were born to dairy.
The best sounds you can get.
It's back, track, bye, baseball.
All season long, this is the Brewers Radio Network.
We go to the second inning here in Arizona. No score between the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. Jose Cabrera will face Jake Bauers, Garrett Mitchell, and Sal Frelick, a trio of lefties to come up against him here in this top of the second inning. Brewers had a leadoff walk from Yelich in the first inning, but could not move him off of first base and stranded a runner. Jake Bauers, .264 average, 15 home runs on the year, 51 driven in. As Cabrera's first pitch to Bauers missed outside, and it's 1-0. Cabrera's an interesting story. We told you he's 24 years of age. 1-0 pitch to Bauers is a liner into center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Bauers has the first hit of this contest, and the Brewers, for the second consecutive inning, have their leadoff man aboard in front of Garrett Mitchell. Let's pause 10 for ID on the Brewers Radio Network. With Josh Maurer and Kent Sommerfeld, Lane Grindle with you from Arizona. 0-0 ball game here, top of the second inning. Cabrera's first pitch to Mitchell is driven out to center. This is crushed. Troy is back at the track. It's off the top of the wall and comes back into play, but it's going to be a home run for Garrett Mitchell. It hit the top of that yellow line, and it looks like it might have been contacted by a fan before it fell back into play. Garrett Mitchell stays hot. It's a 2-run shot, and the Brewers lead it 2-0. His 8th home run of the season. Man, Garrett Mitchell, 112 off the bat, 435. That is an elevated line out there in dead center field. basically from left center to right center. And Torey Lobello, I think, is going to come out and make sure that they got this right, maybe ask for a crew chief review to take a look at this. It looked like a fan contacted it as it hit the yellow line, and that's exactly what happened, right above the yellow padding. So they're going to do a crew chief review of this because it is a home run, and that's the right thing to do. But I think Chris Guccione having some trouble with his mic here, but I think that they will confirm that this is a home run when it's all over. I don't think this will be a very long review.
There's a fan with a white shirt, which is the person I think that tried to catch the home run ball, and it just kind of went off his chest and bounced back onto center field. But the fact that he's wearing a white shirt makes it pretty easy to see that it was above the yellow line.
Yeah, this I think will be a very quick replay here. Replays are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, of course. Looks like they're getting word from New York right now as Chris Guccione and David Rackley actually stand over by home plate. This is taking a little longer than I thought it would, to be honest with you. And now it appears we have what we need. I don't think Chris Guccione's pack is working, so David Rackley maybe will announce. Let's see who talks. Well, they still don't have the word from New York. Are they wondering if that ball was going to come down in play since it was a little bit to the left of that yellow padding? I don't know that it should matter. The ball was contacted by a fan above it. But it is taking a lot longer than you would have thought in New York. And there's a whole different story. If you don't call this a home run, where do you place the runners, Josh? That becomes a totally different situation, too.
I mean, there's nothing that we've seen that would lead you to believe they could overturn it.
After the call on the field stands, it is a home run.
Yeah. So it stands. It is a home run. And everything we told you before the review stands as well. Pat Murphy, I think, is out there maybe just to get some clarification on ground rules right now on what took so long and what they were looking for.
Again, there's a fan that's seated right above the yellow line in center field, just to the right of the batter's eye as we look at it. That fan reached over to try to catch the ball, and it hit him, and then it fell back into play. The question is, did he reach over the yellow? And it certainly didn't look like he did.
No. Sal Frelick is batter. He takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Home runs brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Get back to taking big swings on the course, court, or field with a visit to Ortho ASAP. 1-0 to Frelick. Is a liner into left. This is sinking fast, but a nice sliding catch by Gurriel out in left to take a hit away from Sal Frelick. Sal's been going very good of late. It feels like every one of those types of swings has been falling for Sal, but not that time. One away for Cooper Pratt. 2-0 Brewers here in this top of the second inning. Cabrera brings home the pitch, and Pratt nearly hits, spins out of the box. It's 1-0. Brewers baseball being brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer with great taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time. Cabrera's 1-0 pitch to Pratt is a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. I was getting ready to tell you that Cabrera, 24 years of age, was not a huge prospect necessarily in the Diamondbacks organization, but they've had a lot of injuries on the mound. 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. And so he's been pressed into duty in this rotation. But he's an interesting story in terms of how the Diamondbacks found him, or part of how they found him. He threw live BP to Geraldo Perdomo a long time ago, before he ever had signed a professional contract. 1-2 pitch. Pratt takes low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the Dominican, Perdomo was already a member of the Diamondbacks organization, and he was so impressed by how Cabrera threw the ball that he went to the Diamondbacks and told them, you need to look at this guy. I think he's going to pitch in the big leagues someday. 2-2 pitch is high and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So he went to the director of Latin America operations for the Diamondbacks, Cesar Geronimo Jr., and said, take a look at this guy. 3-2 is low, and Pratt works the walk. So an ortho ASAP walk. And the Brewers have a one-out base runner now for David Hamilton. And the Diamondbacks ended up signing him. And so a little cool that when Cabrera made his debut 2 starts ago on Father's Day, there was Perdomo playing shortstop behind him when he predicted this guy was going to be a big league pitcher. A toss over to first. It's going to get away. And Pratt to his feet, hustles to second. Vargas has to just eat the baseball. That'll be an error on the Diamondbacks. And the Brewers have Pratt now into scoring position. It's an E1 charge to Cabrera. And now Pratt at second. And David Hamilton is a guy that the Diamondbacks always will have to be wary of putting down a bunt in any situation. Cabrera looks in, has the one he wants, and the first pitch to Hamilton, not bunting, takes up and away. It's 1-0. 2-run home run from Garrett Mitchell, his 8th of the season here in this inning. One ball and no strikes on Hamilton. Cabrera brings home the pitch, and that is a high strike. It's going to be challenged by Hamilton.
Pitch was ruled a strike. The batter's challenging.
He's going to win it. This is way up and out of the zone. This might be a double boom. Boom, boom. That's how far.
To a ball. Milwaukee has 2 challenges remaining.
Out of the zone that one was. Goodness.
Counts 2-0.
They didn't even tell us how far out of the zone it was on the ABS system. So it's 2 balls to no strikes. That challenge brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 2-0 Brewers, looking for more here in the second. Cabrera wheels off the mound towards second base, and Pratt back to the bag without a throw. Yelich awaits in the on-deck circle. 2-0 pitch. Up and away. 3 balls and no strikes on Hamilton.
So the upshot of your story about Geraldo Perdomo and Jose Cabrera is that whenever Geraldo's finished his playing days, he should be a scout.
Front office executive at the very least, right? Pretty cool that he makes his debut, and the guy that predicted it is playing shortstop behind him. 3-0 pitch is a strike on the inside edge, and it's 3-1.
I guess you could also joke and say he should just buy a bunch of lottery tickets.
Sometimes that's about as likely, right? When you're talking about trying to make it to the show, it's such a tough journey for any young player. The 3-1 is rolled foul at the first baseline. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Use this statistic all the time, but you wouldn't even fill this park up with guys that have played Major League Baseball in the history. You wouldn't even, you'd have it a little over halfway full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Hamilton. The pitch. And that one caught the outside corner. Hamilton heads back to the dugout. Good pitch. Cutter on the back door from Cabrera. That's his second strikeout. Boy, did he need that strikeout there. And it's going to be up to Yelich here. He will hit with 2 outs and a runner at second base at a 2-0 Brewers lead. And the pitch. Yelich took a strike on the outside edge with a fastball at 92. It's 0-1. Cabrera, the 0-1. This is lined out to left. Gurriel back on it a couple of steps there to make the catch. And the inning is over. Yelich put a good swing on it, but it was right in the direction of Gurriel. Brewers settle for the 2-run home run from Garrett Mitchell. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's a 2-0 lead for Kyle Harrison to work with on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time.
This season, select Brewers games feature post-game concerts, laser shows, and fireworks you won't want to miss.
Make your Brewers game a full night out. Check the complete schedule and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets. Milwaukee Brewers Baseball and Miller Lite.
This 4th of July, crack open something made for the red, white, and blissful. The new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety 8-pack is here just in time for America's 250th birthday, featuring 4 nostalgic flavors: strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple. It's the taste of backyard barbecues, fireworks at dusk, and long summer weekends packed into every can. This Independence Day, bring the nostalgia and bring the bliss with the new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack from Carbliss. Available now at your local retailer or online at drinkcarbliss.com.
High-tech data centers are critical to unlocking the power of technology to grow our economy, improve our healthcare, and transform education. And Wisconsin is quickly becoming a data center hub, which is great news for our state's skilled workers. Each data center creates about 1,800 construction jobs and then hundreds of high-paying jobs to operate it. Wisconsin Infrastructure Investment Now supports bringing data centers online to move our state's economy and technology forward.
Brewers baseball is better from the best seat in the house, yours. Find it at Steinhafels, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Shop in store and online at steinhafels.com.
It is 2-0 Milwaukee as we go to the bottom of the second inning here in Arizona. Garrett Mitchell, a 2-run home run. Goodness gracious. How about Garrett Mitchell, huh? He is turned a corner and then some.
This week is everything the Brewers have been salivating about for Garrett Mitchell for years coming to fruition.
Man, everything he hits right now, Josh, is smoked. Gabriel Moreno will lead things off for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the second inning. Kyle Harrison needed just 15 pitches to get himself through the first inning, and his first pitch is a fastball for a strike at the very top of the zone. It's going to be challenged by Moreno. And Moreno's going to win this one. I think we have the weak spot of David Rackley behind the plate.
Calls over third. Arizona has 2 challenges remaining.
It's probably not great news for Kyle Harrison because he wants to work up in that zone. Or maybe it is good news because maybe there'll be some that aren't challenged that he gets up there. Here's a slurve in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. He seems to have very good command of that slurve tonight. He's thrown 3 of them. They've all been for strikes. Here's the 1-1, and the slurve, as I say that, misses outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Moreno, Gurriel, and then Arenado to hit for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-1 pitch is a fly ball into right field. On the move is Frelick. He's there to make the catch on his feet in right center. Got a great first step. Sal's as good at that as anybody. And off the bat, you thought that might have a shot to get to the gap. Certainly thought maybe Sal would have to leave his feet in order to catch it. None of the above happened. 1 away for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Another right-handed hitter in this lineup tonight for the Diamondbacks. First pitch is in there with fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Hitting just .220 on the year. 2 home runs, 19 driven in. Harrison's 0-1 pitch is low. That was the first changeup of the night offered by Kyle Harrison. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's in there for a strike. Double down on the changeup. It's 1-2. Harrison out of the windup. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back into the net. And the count remains. Brewers with a 2-0 lead. They're out in front early here tonight. Brewers and Diamondbacks already played back in Milwaukee. Now time is called. Brewers and Diamondbacks played a series at the end of April. That's really right when the Brewers got going. Since April 26th, the Brewers are 40-19. That is the best record in the major leagues. 1-2 pitch is a chopper to third. Hamilton stays back on it, gets a big hop, has to hurry the throw. It's low, And Bowers couldn't dig it out of there. It hits off the facing of the camera well and bounces back into play. So no extra base for Gurriel. Was not a great throw from David Hamilton. It'll be an E5 on David Hamilton. That has been the one issue for Hamilton. He has been very good about getting to balls, and the glove has worked, but some of the throws have not been as strong at times. And he probably had a little bit more time than he thought as well with that throw. So an E3, and now here's Nolan Arenado, and he takes low with a fastball. It's 1-0. Should say high with a fastball. It's 1-0. So you hope that error doesn't hurt you if you're the Brewers. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at the slurve. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One popped up. This one into shallow right. Terang, the second baseman, going all the way out there and calling everybody off and making the catch. That's the second out of the inning. And that'll get Ildemaro Vargas to the plate for the Diamondbacks. Baseball and Usinger bratwurst, nothing better. Unless it's a Usinger brat served with Pine River cheese spreads like spicy beer and chased with a giant bowl of Cedar Crest sea salt caramel ice cream. That's Wisconsin. That's summer. That's for me. First pitch to Vargas is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Vargas is hitting just .256, 7 home runs, 44 driven in on the year. Harrison shakes on the pitch he wants, and it's a liner back up the middle and into center field. He got a piece of the slurve and smacked it right back up the middle, and now the Diamondbacks with first and second. And 2 outs for Lou James. Groover was about to tell you that Vargas had that 27-game hitting streak going when the Diamondbacks were in Milwaukee at the end of April. And it got snapped in Chicago a few days later. At the time it got snapped, going into the game when the hitting streak got snapped, he was hitting .404 on the year. We just told you now hitting .256 before that base hit. First pitch to James Groover is a slurve that misses outside. It's 1-0. So since that hitting streak's been snapped, in 50 games, Josh, he's hitting .167 with a .443 OPS. 1-0 pitch is a little bit low with a slurve. Contreras thought about challenging, did not, and was right not to. It was low. 2 balls and no strikes. He only has 6 extra base hits in that stretch of time as well for Vargas, who stands at first. 2-0 pitch. There's his strike with a fastball at 98 from Harrison. And it's 2-1.
Well, there's that saying that you always end up going back to the stats on the back of your baseball card.
So you're saying that the back of Vargas's baseball card didn't have .404 on it before this year?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, 2-1. Swing and a miss. That fastball at 97. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Thank you for clarifying. I don't know that that's always true, but they say
yeah.
it.
I mean, I think it's pretty accurate most of the time. I would agree with you. And it goes in both directions. 2-2 pitch. He is a called third strike. Nailed the outside corner of the fastball at 97. And Harrison, despite a little bit of traffic in that second inning, gets an ortho ASAP strikeout, his second of the night, and hangs a 0. We go to the third inning. It's 2-0 Milwaukee on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Looking for service you can trust? The Boucher Service Centers have you covered. Your home team for auto care, from Kenosha, West Bend, Waukesha, Janesville, and everywhere in between. Right now, get tires for just $1 over cost. Plus, great deals on batteries and brakes to keep you safe on the road. And don't miss this, oil changes starting at just $79.95, including a full safety inspection and tire rotation. Learn more at Boucher.com. Drive with confidence, service with Boucher. Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
You've taught them, trained them, taken every precaution.
But sometimes, despite your best efforts, someone gets hurt on the job. Because they're not perfect. They're people, and they're your people. At least you can keep them happy, healthy, and working with a workers' compensation policy from West Bend. It's how to give every problem a silver lining. West Bend, the worst brings out our best. To find out more, visit thesilverlining.com.
Hit a home run with your career at Ironworkers Local 8. With industry-leading wages and benefits exceeding $84 an hour, hands-on training, and job opportunities across the eastern third of Wisconsin and the entire Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Local 8 offers a path to a strong and secure future. And when you join Local 8, you become part of a brotherhood that cares about our members, their families, and the communities we serve. Visit IWL8.org. That's IWL8.org.
Auto depression. When your car's appearance makes you sad. Known cures? Z-Bart Spring Cleanup Sale. Side effects. New car euphoria. Say goodbye to auto depression. Say hello to Z-Bart.
Brewers lead it 2-0 as we head to the third inning here at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. And stepping in with the play-by-play, fresh off his trip to Biloxi, Mississippi, here's Josh Mallon.
Yeah, I just flew in, and boy, are my arms tired.
It's not Father's Day. We don't need dad jokes.
I thought you were setting me up.
And you know what? Dad jokes are always welcome on this broadcast. It doesn't have to be Father's Day for that.
Thank you, Lane. Big bats coming up against the rookie Cabrera. It's going to be Chourio, Turang, and Contreras. Jackson leads off and takes one over the inside corner. Fastball for strike one. Yeah, I had a little quick trip down to check out some of the biggest prospects in baseball while you and Jeff capably handled the last couple of games of that Red Series. 0-1 is down and away on a cutter, 1-1. Jackson struck out in the first.
Capably was an interesting way to say that, but yeah.
Overhead wind in the 1-1. Outside corner.
Felt a little passive aggressive, if you ask me, but
brilliantly. How about?
Oh, well, now you're just sucking up.
Pandering to the audience. Wind up in the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chase that breaking ball down in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box. He has struck out twice against Cabrera. Has Jackson Chourio. He's been fooled by that pitch. 2 of the 3 strikeouts that Cabrera owns. Here comes Turang. If you are just joining us, Jose Cabrera is making only his 3rd major league start. Diamondbacks have had all sorts of injury issues in their rotation. 1 out. Bryce Turang coming up. Now the pitch. Sweeper came through the back door for strike 1. 2-run home run last inning by Garrett Mitchell. The damage tonight. Garrett's 5th extra base hit this week. 2nd game in a row with a homer. 0-1 is up and away on Turang. 3rd inning brought to you by Citgo. Whether you're crossing the state line or just going cross town, Club Citgo can save you money on every fill-up along the way. Like 3 cents off every gallon every day. The 1-1. Fly foul on the left side, up and out of play, 1-2. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Bryce has a new bat from when he flew out to right field in the first. I know that to be a fact because part of the bat splintered when he made that contact first time up. Cabrera's a big dude. Goes into an overhead windup, the 1-2. Outside on a fastball, 95 on the gun. It's 2-2. Been trying to think of who he reminds me of. Remember Michael Pineda? Body type, wind up, 2-2, grounded sharply back through the middle and into center field. That's a base hit for Bryce Turang. Curveball around the knees, and Bryce smoked it right past where it came from. 104 miles an hour off the bat. He's got a 6-game hitting streak now, does Bryce. 1 on in front of William Contreras. 2-0 Brewers.
Yeah, Yankee, I think a twin, right? Michael Pineda. Yeah, I see that.
Contreras bounced to short his first time. Trying to get his bat going back in the right direction. Been quiet over the last week. Now the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Brewers now with 3 hits. And the Diamondbacks have won against Kyle Harrison through the first couple of innings. Just beginning this series here tonight. comes the 1-0. William takes way outside. That's a good stop by Moreno, the catcher, to prevent it from going to the backstop. 2-0 on Contreras. Glad that you've spent part of your Friday with us. Already getting late back in the Central. Just about 7:30 local time here. The 2-0. Lined into center field for a base hit. Terang turning second base. He read it all the way. He'll make it to third without a throw. As Tommy Troy just throws it into the cutoff man. It's a single for William Contreras to put him on the corners with one away. Got an inner third cutter there. And lofted that one into center field. And Terang is a really good base runner. You don't need me to tell you. But he knew immediately that wasn't going to get caught, so he just started sprinting. Not a ball necessarily that you'd go first to third on, but Bryce did it. That could be a very important 90 feet. As Jake Bauers comes to the plate with the Brewers already leading 2-0 and only one out. Back-to-back singles here, and Bauers singled last inning. The pitch is inside on a breaking ball, 1-0. Diamondbacks are going to play for a double play up the middle with Perdomo, the shortstop, and Marte, the second baseman, each playing back. The first baseman, Vargas, is holding on Contreras, and the third baseman, Arenado, who's as good as they get over there, he's about level with the bag. Runners leading from the corners. And now Cabrera set for the 1-0. Down low, changeup skipped in, it's 2-0. The Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee has major wins on deck. Play with your rewards card for a shot at cash, reward play, and new Toyotas. Visit Potawatomi.com for details. Hitters count to Jake Bauers, 2-0. Here it is. Popped foul coming back and off to our left. Well out of play. Diamondbacks have not been playing great baseball, although they did just win a series here before the Brewers got to town. They beat the struggling Giants 2 out of 3. For first, checking on Contreras. I don't think he's going anywhere. He belly flops safely back in, though. Arizona, which is still tied for second behind the Dodgers in the NL West. They're at 500 on the year, 43-43, but it's not been a great month or so. 2-0 Brewers. 2-1 pitch. Lined into right field. That's another base hit. On a hop in front of Corbin Carroll. Scoring from third. Terang stopping at second base. Contreras, and Jake Bauers is 2 for 2. He pulls an RBI single into right. The Brewers, they're putting some great swings on Jose Cabrera and lead this game 3-0 in the third. 3 straight singles here. 93-mile-an-hour fastball about knee high, and Jake turned it around. What a first half for Bauers. That's his 52nd run batted in. Just past Contreras, actually, for the team lead. And we're going to have a Potawatomi Sportsbook trip to the mound as pitching coach Brian Kaplan is visiting with his young pupil Jose Cabrera.
Well, that's for later in the game.
That's when there's a pitching change.
That's when there's a pitching change later in the game, Josh.
Now it's just a pupil. Potawatomi Sportsbook, wall-to-wall screens, elite dining, and over 95 kiosks. It's a fan's dream. Potawatomi Sportsbook, become a legend. And Garrett Mitchell, the hottest thing going right now, is going to hit with runners at first and second and still only one out. Brewers lead 3-0. Garrett hit the 2-run home run last inning, pretty much to dead center. Over 430 estimated feet. He'll take down and away with a breaking ball, 1-0. Over the last 4 games, Garrett is now 8 for 12. 5 of those have gone for extra bases. The 1-0 outside. The 2-seamer missed. It's 2-0. I mean, I'd stay away from this guy right now, too. Although the problem is, in this situation, you kind of have to attack. On deck is Frelick. Infield double play depth. The 2-0 coming. Flied into deep left field. Backing up goes Gurriel. He's back onto the track. Gurriel right in front of the wall. Leaps up. It is caught. He jumped with the glove over the fence and robbed a home run. Unbelievable. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. That would have been the second of the night for Garrett Mitchell. But Gurriel timed the jump perfectly. He reached his glove over the yellow line and into the seats and caught the baseball, brought it back into the field of play.
That's what it takes to get Garrett Mitchell out right now.
This was about to be a 6-0 game. Oh, my word. What a catch. One of the best you'll ever see, folks. He was racing back there, too, Lane. It's not like he had a lot of time. The ball was carrying on him. Didn't have time to get set, just running and jumping. And the runners didn't advance, so there are 2 outs, and Sal Frelick takes a strike at the knees.
Garrett had a little smirk as he walked back into the dugout, almost as if to say, next time I won't give you the chance to catch it.
Hard to believe that Lourdes Gurriel could do that. Frelick line to left his first time, and he flies one into right center field. Playable. Tommy Troy, the center fielder to his left, is there well in front of the track and makes the catch. That'll retire the side. Brewers get 1. By all right, they should have had 4. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., the veteran, robbed a 3-run home run off the bat of Garrett Mitchell. We go to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Milwaukee on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com. That's OAWSpineCenter.com.
From the post-game to the morning show, there's no rest for baseball for Dominic Cotroneo, our Brewers 360 guest every Monday at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Cooper Pratt and this team loves defense. Cooper Pratt's a big league shortstop right now. I mean, Cooper Pratt was a big league shortstop defensively last year. I mean, that's a big league shortstop.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
Banking with an experienced crew is a big home run. For personal or business finances, don't just bank with anyone. Tri-City, your hometown bank.
Wow, that home run robbery by Lourdes Gurriel Jr. of Garrett Mitchell on a ball that was headed into the seats in left before Gurriel jumped with the glove well up over the fence and brought it back in with an amazing catch. You hope if you're the Brewers that just becomes a footnote instead of a headline later. 3-0 Milwaukee, and Kyle Harrison back to work. It'll be the rookie Tommy Troy taking ball 1. Brewers have had some great swings through these first 3 innings offensively. Harrison did strand a couple in the second. 1-0 is going to miss. And it is 2 balls and no strikes on Troy. Our first look at this former 12th overall pick out of Stanford. Tommy Troy, the rookie. The 2-0. Popped foul coming into the seats over the first base dugouts. Troy, number 4 prospect in the Arizona organization currently. Got called up towards the end of May. He's hitting .235. 2-1 pitch, fouled again right side, drifting into the seats. It's 2-2. 3 homers and 7 runs batted in for Tommy Troy. A man with 2 first names. Top of the order, Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo will follow. Right-handed hitter in the 2-2. Into the ground, foul up the third base line. When the game is on the line, the Brewers rely on their elite bullpen. When your oral health is on the line, rely on a WDA member dentist. To find a WDA dentist near you, go to WDA.org. 2-2 on Troy. Harrison kicks and deals. And it's up and away on a fastball. 96 on the gun, full counts. Harrison has his sign from Contreras. The lefty's ready in the 3-2. He is lined into right. Sal Frelick's coming on in. Frelick gets there and makes the catch, sprinting towards first base and over towards the line. They got there standing up. It's a couple of them tonight that mere mortal right fielders, if they're going to catch it, they probably have to leave their feet. But Sal makes it look a lot easier than it is.
You know, we were talking about the back of the baseball card earlier when we were talking about Ildemaro Vargas, and we were saying that, you know, that goes in two different directions sometimes.
One out, Ketel Marte takes a changeup low.
Meaning that, you know, Vargas had gotten off to this great start, fallen back down to earth, and kind of regressed to what he's been more over the course of his career.
1-0. Marte takes a strike with a changeup. 1-1.
I think June, Josh, has been a great lesson with Sal Frelick, a guy that got back to the back of his baseball card offensively. I mean, the defense has never left.
Ground ball up the middle. Tough play for Turang on the shortstop side. Backhands, but he won't get the out at first. Bounces the throw to Bowers. Bowers actually didn't catch it. It wouldn't have mattered because Marte was already past the bag. That was an exceptional try, though, by Bryce Turang. When I say he was on the shortstop side of the infield, he was way on the shortstop side of the infield.
By the time he let go of the ball, he was almost where a shortstop would play.
And he still got the throw to Bowers on a hop. Well off balance. Jake didn't catch it, as I said, but it also wouldn't have mattered. So an infield hit for Marte. Here's Geraldo Perdomo. 3-0 Brewers in the third, and he'll take up and away, ball one. Just your point on Sal Frelick. He almost hit 350 in June. 1-0 pitch. Perdomo takes pitch called ball. A breaking ball, and so it's 2-0. That one was just a bit outside. Grounded out to second his first time did Perdomo, who walks about as much as anybody in the league. 2-0 pitch. Ripped but foul wide of third. On the foul side of the chalk, it landed by a few feet. Got out in front of a high fastball. Let's get tonight's safe driving tip from Schneider and their professional truck drivers. Put your phone away while driving. Your full attention can save lives. Ain't that the truth? Be careful on the roads this holiday weekend. 1 on, 1 out, 2-1, swing and a miss. That was the slurve. It bounced in, but Perdomo couldn't hold back, and it's 2-2. Kyle Harrison pitched 3 times as a starter previously against the Diamondbacks when he was with San Francisco. Of course, they were in the National League West, so it was a divisional opponent. First time he's facing them with the Brewers. 2-2. High, and it's full count. Fastball not close. On deck is Corbin Carroll. He might start Marte. We'll see what Torey Lovello, their 10th season manager, elects to do. 1 out, bottom of the third. Runner holds, 3-2, swing and a miss on the slurve in the dirt. That pitch fooled him a couple of times in that at-bat. He just couldn't hold back. And a strikeout. Third of the outing for Harrison is out number 2. And here's Corbin Carroll, Ortho ASAP. Don't strike out. Get back to the active lifestyle you want. See a specialist today at orthowisconsin.com. That guy doesn't chase that much either. That's how much he was fooled by that pitch. Carroll takes one just a little below the knees. 97 with sink, and it's 1-0. Corbin took a called third strike back in the first. Harrison just up over 50 pitches. The 1-0, swing and a miss. He chased it. Corbin Carroll, that was up and in. That's the thing about Harrison's fastball. Guys don't take comfortable looking swings against it.
I'm not sure lefties see it at all.
And it's got some anger behind it. 1-1. Popped into the seats on the third base side. That was the fastball, and he was late. 1-2. We're going to find out in the coming days who's going to the All-Star game. Boy, you really hope that Harrison's name gets called.
Yeah.
I think he's earned it, and then some. 2 out, the 1-2. Corbin Carroll grounds past the diving first baseman Bowers and into right. Marte will go over to third as Frelick picks the ball up near the line and holds Corbin Carroll at first base with a single. Got the slurve, and he pulled it out of the reach of Jake Bowers, so they're on the corners with 2 out. Tying run will come to the plate, and the cleanup batter, Gabriel Moreno. A couple of hits in the inning, each on the ground. That one hit much harder than Marte's infield single. 107 miles an hour off the bat of Corbin Carroll. 3-0 Brewers. Now you got Moreno, who flew to right back in the second. Harrison is ready in the pitch. Down low with the slurve, ball 1. Kyle Harrison's only given up more than 2 runs in an outing one time all year. That was that start in Vegas, of course. The pitch is inside. It's 2-0 here on Moreno. Really been a model of consistency. Gabriel Moreno batting. Runners lead from the corners. 2-0 pitch down the middle with a fastball. 97 on the gun, 2-1. Harrison should have one more start before the All-Star break after this one, coming up on the road trip. 3-0 Brewers, 2-1 pitch, down low, breaking ball, it's 3-1. Gurriel Jr., the defensive hero of the inning, is in the on-deck circle. This trip is going to test the entire pitching staff. Kyle is set. Dangerous pitch is coming. First he'll throw to first and check on the speedy Corbin Carroll. Throw actually kind of handcuffed Jake Bowers over at first base. Caught it awkwardly. Three balls, one strike, 2 outs. Harrison ready. Here comes. Strike called. Fastball painted the upper outside corner. Full count again. This has been a lengthy inning. Remember that pitch count in the start against the Cubs last weekend got elevated, which is why he only ended up making it through 5. And kind of trending that way tonight. It's going to be already 60 pitches for Harrison here. David Rackley, the home plate umpire, just gave a warning to Kyle. Not allowed to come set before the batter is attentive to him. Runner at first will be off. Carroll. Also at third is Marte. 2 out. And now a little gamesmanship. Gabriel Moreno uses a timeout. Brewers leading 3-0. Diamondbacks on at first and third base in the bottom of the third. And Harrison now finally is ready for this 3-2. Runner goes in the pitch. Ground ball right side, base hit. Past the diving Bowers, put into a perfect spot. Scoring is Marte. First to third is Carroll. RBI single by Gabriel Moreno to the opposite field. He didn't hit it hard. He just put it into a good spot. And it's 3-1. Three ground ball singles in the inning for the Diamondbacks. That's one where Harrison's probably thinking, I made a good pitch. Tip your cap to the batter, and Chris Hook have a pitching coach visit to the mound here, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Just think about what the catch that Lourdes Gurriel Jr. made about 10 to 15 minutes ago did to this game. It was going to be 6-0 Milwaukee. Instead, he robbed Garrett Mitchell of a 3-run home run by jumping and reaching well over the fence to catch the ball. And now, a few minutes later, the Diamondbacks are only down by 2 runs.
And have the tying run at first.
The ebbs and flows of baseball, huh? Well, here comes Gurriel to bat now. The Brewers really don't want to let him make this inning any more epic. Reached on an error his first time, and he'll take a changeup down and away, ball 1. So now you've got Corbin Carroll at third, Gabriel Moreno at first. The 1-0 coming. Another changeup down and away, 2-0. We've had 3 full counts in the inning by my count. Long at bats. 2-0 coming. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with an elevated fastball. 96 on the gun. 2-1 on Gurriel Jr. Diamondbacks offense has been surprisingly kind of quiet for a lot of this year. They got some big names. They have not produced the way that this lineup has in recent seasons up to this point. 2-1 to Gurriel. Swing and a tip foul. Held on to by Contreras. Another elevated fastball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys you would think would be performing at a little better clip overall than they have.
Runners on the corners. 2-2 pitch. Down low. Well, that's 4 full counts this inning. That was the slurve. They are making Kyle Harrison work. Now it's going to be Moreno in motion on the pitch from first with 2 out. 66th pitch of the outing for Kyle Harrison. He's got his sign, 3-2. Outside and high, and he walked him. And now the bases are loaded. He's throwing, I think, now upwards of 30 pitches in the inning.
32, I believe, with that last one.
Bases loaded for Nolan Arenado. Gurriel is on base for a second time. That was the first walk issued by Harrison. Well, Arenado popped out to second base last inning. 3-1 Brewers. First pitch. Lifted foul and then into the seats down the first base line. Second level, 0-1. No, Arenado's not the hitter that he used to be, but boy, when he's in the box, you always strike a little twang of fear in your heart. 0-1 coming. Breaking ball. Just missed. I guess inside, but challenged.
All the catch was challenging.
I think it was low by maybe a half an inch. They're putting it up on the board now. It is 1-1.
Call is confirmed. Counts 1-1. Milwaukee has 1 challenge remaining.
ABS challenge presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 1-1 on Arenado. Bases full of Diamondbacks. 2 out in the third. Harrison's pitch. Hit in the air, foul, down the third base line, over towards the netting goes Hamilton. He is reaching into the netting, and the ball hits the net. Couldn't catch it. Just ran out of room, did David. 1-2 on Nolan Arenado. Well, Harrison is going to throw his 70th pitch. He wants this to be the one that ends this third inning. 1-2. Now here it comes, and it's fouled back. Challenge fastball. He got up to 98 on the gun with that one, but Arenado hit it into the screen. It's getting to the point now where if Arenado reaches, Brewers probably have to get some bullpen activity. Actually, they already do. I think Chad Patrick's the one getting loose. 1-2 again, low on a changeup. It's 2-2. Yep, Patrick is throwing. I mean, you're getting now closer to 40 pitches in one inning. One run is all that has scored. 3-1 Milwaukee in the third. Harrison's 2-2. Line deep to left field. It's not going to be caught. Churio's watching it. It's off the wall. 2 runs are in, and being held at third is Gurriel, so we're tied. Throw from Churio gets away, but nobody can advance any further. It's a 2-run wall ball double by Nolan Arenado. And it's 3-3, a 3-run with 2-out rally in the bottom of the third. Boy, and that was not a bad pitch. 96-mile-an-hour fastball out away from Arenado. That's going to be it for Harrison. They've knocked him out of the game here in the third inning. Chad Patrick's going to come in. I think the Brewers just deciding he's thrown too many pitches in one inning to be allowed to continue in this game. Chris Hook makes the pitching changes these days for the Brewers. Boy, how things can change. It was going to be 6-0 Milwaukee if Gurriel didn't rob a homer. Now it's 3-3, and the Diamondbacks are trying to take the lead against Chad Patrick. Pitching change brought to you by Iron Workers Local 8. While there's a change on the mound, you can make a change in your career. Join Iron Workers Local 8. Visit IWL8.org. That's IWL8.org. Patrick in to face Ildemaro Vargas after this on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
On the baseball field, the skilled players get paid the most. The same is true in construction. Some of the most skilled players building our roads, solar farms, and stadiums are the men and women of the Wisconsin Operating Engineers. If you are ready to step up to a job where you can earn more without college debt and operate equipment like cranes, excavators, bulldozers, and drones, you're ready to join the team of Wisconsin Operating Engineers today at join139.com.
Dear America, get to Toyota's Independence Day sales event, because the fireworks start here. Toyota's got plenty of bang for your buck. Fire up your savings with more miles per gallon on the all-hybrid Camry and the all-hybrid RAV4. The Tundra and Tacoma put on the show with legendary Toyota value that keeps glowing long after the smoke clears. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Your premier Michigan golf getaway includes rounds at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Book Monday through Wednesday for best availability. Savor elevated dining and unwind at the full-service Drift Spa between rounds. Grab quick bites in the expanded Sage Run Clubhouse, or refresh overlooking the 9th and 18th at Sweetgrass. It's all part of an unforgettable golf experience at Island Resort and Casino. Plan your getaway at islandresortgolf.com.
Well, at the beginning of this 11-game and 10-day road trip, the Brewers will essentially now have to deal with a bullpen game. Second and third, 2 out, tied at 3, bottom of the third. Ildemaro Vargas swings and pops up Chad Patrick's first pitch. Behind home plate, playable for Contreras, off with the mask near the on-deck circle. First base side, William makes the catch. A one-pitch out, strands 2 for Chad Patrick. I didn't even have time to tell you about how good he was in his 2 outings against the Reds earlier this week. Got Vargas with a cutter there. So it's 4 straight reaching with 2 outs, and a 3-run rally knocks Kyle Harrison out of the game. We're going to the 4th. It is tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
When you work
Network.
3-3 as we go to the fourth inning in this series opener from the desert, and it's going to be the Brewers batting against the rookie Jose Cabrera, 8-9-1. Pratt, Hamilton, and Yelich. Cabrera's been hit hard. He's given up 5 hits, but he had a 3-run home run that would have been robbed. Now he's back level. Cooper walked his first time, and he takes very high, ball 1. Just to close the book on Harrison, 72 pitches to get 8 outs. They really made him labor. That lengthy bottom of the third especially. Pratt grounds it back off the glove of the pitcher, and it goes straight through into center field. A base hit for Pratt. Just reaching out a little piece of leather. Cabrera deflected, but it did not take a lot of the mustard off the ground ball, and it went straight into center field. So a leadoff single for Pratt. That snapped an 0 for 16. See if the Brewers can come with the counter punch. David Hamilton coming up, maybe to bunt. Struck out his first time. Third baseman Arenado is charging in. A throw to first by Jose Cabrera. Pratt dives safely in. Hamilton did not reveal his intentions, as I'm sure they hoped he would. Pratt could also just steal a base if you want. He's a great base stealer. First pitch, squared to bunt, but pulled back and took a fastball outside. Did Hamilton, ball 1. Cooper's already 5 for 5 in his short big league career, stealing bases. Jonathan Loaizaga is getting loose in the bullpen already for Arizona. There goes Pratt. The pitch is up and in. Throw to second by Moreno is not in time. It wasn't close. Make it 6 for 6 as a big leaguer stealing for Cooper Pratt. I like that option. Just let that guy run. He really seems like a great instinctual base runner.
Gets great jumps. If you watch him when he steals bases, he gets outstanding jumps.
And the pitch was a ball, so 2-0 on Hamilton. Here it comes. Up and away, 3-0 on a cutter. All stolen bases are presented by Delta Dental for your fellow fanatics, personal cheerleaders, and your #1 fans. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. 3-0 coming. Taking all the way, it's upstairs, ball 4. David Hamilton's aboard with a free pass. 2 on, nobody out for the Brewers in the visiting fourth. Presented by Ortho ASAP, and you're going to have the pitching coach, Brian Kaplan, come and visit with Jose Cabrera in this 3-3 game. It's a Potawatomi Sportsbook trip to the mountains. Yelich, Churio, Turang, top of the order coming up. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Brewers Radio Network. Along with Lane Grindle and producer-engineer Kent Sommerfeld, Josh Maurer at Chase Field in Phoenix, where it's 3-3 in the fourth. Lots of offense early in this one. Brewers have Pratt at second, Hamilton at first with nobody out. Yelich has walked and lined out to left. And now the pitching coach is headed back into the Arizona third base dugout. Diamondbacks just got 3 2-out runs to knock Kyle Harrison out of the game in the bottom of the third, after the Brewers built an early 3-0 lead. Here's Yelich on the first pitch, taken for a strike. Cutter right on the inner third, and it's 0-1. Christian looking for his first hit this week. Didn't have one in the Red Series. 0-1. Chopped very softly to the pitcher. It's fielded in front of the mound by Cabrera, but he's got only one play. It's at first. He throws at Yelich there, and that essentially served the purpose of a bunt. Goes 1-3. He won't get credit for his sacrifice, but that works out very nicely. Over to third goes Pratt, and up to second goes David Hamilton with only one out. And Jackson Churio coming up to the plate. Now, he's had a hard time. Of all the 9 batters in the order tonight, he's had the hardest time, I feel like, against Jose Cabrera, but he's not going to face Jose Cabrera. Interesting. Here comes Torey Lovello, and he's going to make a pitching change. So Jonathan Loaizaga is coming in, and we're in the fourth inning. It's essentially a bullpen game for each team tonight. Well, sometimes control problems get out of hand. We've all been there, folks. And when you need a change because of control problems, visit NorthShore.com to check out North Shore Adult Diapers. They sponsor the Diamondbacks pitching change. 3-3, but the Brewers have them on second and third with only one out in the fourth. The Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
When you work smart, incredible things can happen. By joining Smart 18, the union for Wisconsin sheet metal workers, you'll open the door to a brighter future. You'll learn and earn more. Enjoy awesome benefits across the board. Build a great career and feel empowered and supported every step of the way. The smartest career decision you'll ever make starts with Smart 18. Find out more today at smart18info.com.
Celebrate and save big during Steinhaffel's Furniture and Mattress 4th of July sale. Save up to 30% store-wide, then take $75 off every $7.99 you spend. And we make buying your new room easy with our special 60-month 0% financing. Plus, take an extra 15% off our already low-priced clearance. And don't forget about the amazing doorbusters throughout the store. It's Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Step up to the plate. It's Quick Trip's Around the Bases contest with store candy. Stop into your neighborhood Quick Trip and purchase any Werther's or Mamba product with Quick Rewards for your chance to win cash. Be sure to try Werther's Original, Mamba Magic Sticks, or Mamba Berry Tasty. Details at QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Don't sit on the sidelines. Grab your favorite Werther's or Mamba product, fuel up, and get in the game to win big this Brewers season. Quick Trip and Store Candy, proud partners of the Brewers Radio Network.
Jonathan Loaiza, a longtime New York Yankee in his first season with the Diamondbacks. He's been terrific. And Torey Lovullo is thinking this is a leverage spot. I'm going to use a leverage reliever here in the fourth. Jackson Chourio and Bryce Terang coming up, tied at 3, but Pratt at third and Hamilton at second and the infield in. Jackson is in the box in the pitch. Chopped softly to shortstop, played by Perdomo. He tags the runner out going to third. Throws to first, doubles off, Chourio inning over. Oh, David Hamilton tried to run from second to third. He ran right into the glove of Geraldo Perdomo. And then Perdomo threw out Chourio at first for a 6-3 double play that ends the inning on one pitch. Unbelievable. Hamilton just ran right into the tag. Otherwise, you would have had Pratt scoring from third. Brewers are denied. We go to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Breaking news.
Radio Network.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Boy, if we had a lot going on in the first 3.5 innings of this game. It is tied at 3, and Chad Patrick, who needed only one pitch to strand a couple of inherited runners in the bottom of the third, is going to get a clean bottom of the fourth. two rookies at the bottom of the order for the Diamondbacks up first. Lou James Groover and then Tommy Troy. Here's Groover, and the pitch is over the outside corner. Let's go back to that play that just ended the top of the inning, Lee, and you had second and third and one out in the infield in. And Jackson Churio, first pitch from Loizaga, hit a chopper to short, soft chopper. The one pitch is hit on the ground to third. David Hamilton, a step to his left, gobbles it up. Perfect throw across in time to get Groover. And so Patrick has retired the first two batters that he's faced, and now Tommy Troy. Anyway, the ball was hit softly enough that Cooper Pratt, the runner at third, was going to score. But the runner at second base, David Hamilton, started to run to third, and accidentally, for certain, he just ran basically right into the tag of the shortstop. And then it ended up being a double play. Tommy Troy takes inside corner. It's 0-1.
Yeah, you have to stop running essentially in that spot if you're David Hamilton.
Takes a run off the board.
Yeah, the one thing that can't happen is getting tagged out there. That's the one thing that can wreck the whole play.
Outside on Troy, 1-1.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's, of course, first base was not occupied, so you could stay put. You don't even have to try to get to third. You can actually go back to the bag if you want to.
1-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back. Really anything other than what Hamilton did would have scored the run.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even if he tried to go back to second base and they ended up throwing him out there, you're still going to have Pratt score. 1-2 on Tommy Troy. He began last inning with a fly out to right. Then the Diamondbacks got 3 runs after. The 1-2. Outside, just missed. 97 on the fastball from Patrick. Retired veterans, you can turn to Network Health for affordable and reliable health plans tailored to meet your needs. Find the coverage you need and health plan experience you want with Network Health. Learn more, networkhealth.com/veterans. 3-3, bottom 4. The 2-2. Applied to center. Garrett Mitchell coming in with a play. He is there, reaches forward, makes the catch. Patrick doing his job, getting 3 in a row to start the outing. Could be a longer relief appearance for Chad. And now at the top of the order, Ketel Marte. Carbless, proud partner of the Brewers, premium ready-to-drink cocktails. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten. Find it at the ballpark or at your local retailer. Carbless, less is more. Ketel Marte's infield single began that 3-run rally last inning against Harrison. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Patrick's pitch, cutter through the back door and in there for a strike. Drive Around the League is brought to you by Construction Business Group. Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors building Wisconsin together. First the 0-1. Up and away, 1-1. The Cubs lost to the Cardinals this afternoon at Wrigley. If you didn't hear, 17-1. And that was how Chicago's 5-game winning streak was emphatically snapped by the Redbirds. Game 1 of that series. 1-1. Outside on Marte on a sinker. Cubs had won 9 of their previous 10. So the Brewers have a chance to pick up a full game on the second place Cubs if they can win this game tonight. 2-1, 2 out. Pitch way outside. Missed to the arm side against Marte. 3-1. Got all these left-handed hitters coming up now with Marte, Perdomo, and Corbin Carroll. Danger is part of the order. Base is clear, 3-1. Line towards first, short hop off the glove of Bowers, but he picks it back up, flips to Patrick, and Patrick just beats Marte to the bag in time for out number 3. It's a nice pick by Jake. It got to him a bit awkwardly on that short hop, and it caromed maybe a foot away from him. He didn't initially field it cleanly, but he kept it by his side. 3-1 on the out against Marte. We're headed to the 5th. This game is tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
On the baseball field.
Jonathan Loaizaga, who, as I mentioned when he came into the game, has been terrific this year for Arizona in relief. He's going to get his first clean inning. Got that double play on the first pitch he threw in the fourth. Tied at 3, fifth inning upon us, and the middle of the order coming up. Here's Lane Grindle.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. Bryce Terang will lead things off for the Brewers. Terang 1 for 2 tonight. Had that base hit back up the middle, back in the third inning as Loaizaga looks in. And the first offering to Bryce is hit foul and out of play third base side. No balls and 1 strike on Terang. Terang, Contreras, and then Bowers to hit for the Brewers here in this top of the 5th inning. This has been a wild game so far. I think you could put that adjective on this one as Terang takes a changeup low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Feels like the Brewers should definitely have more. Brewers could easily have about 8 runs in this game right now. 1 ball and 1 strike, and the pitch, and that one's fouled back into the net, and it's 1-2. Diamondbacks probably feel like they've left a couple of opportunities out there too. They had a 2-out opportunity with 2 on in the 2nd inning. Maybe felt like they could have gotten more in that 3rd inning. Chad Patrick worked a clean 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Here's the 1-2 to Terang, and he checked on a pitch that missed inside, and it's 2-2. That was a cutter at 96 towards the bottom of the zone, but it was in off the plate. A couple of baseballs. Fairly easy take for Terang. Loaizaga's 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. I got a piece of it, and it was not squeezed by Moreno, so he's going to stay alive. It was a changeup, just got a tiny piece of it, and it was not held onto by Moreno. So it's still 2-2 here on Terang. And the pitch. Ground ball right side, ranging off the bag to backhand. It is Vargas. He'll flip to Loaizaga, covering in time to take care of Terang. 3-1 on that put out of Bryce, and now here's William Contreras. Time for a vibe check. A cooler full of Vizzy Hard Seltzer. Big vibe. Vizzy Hard Seltzer. The seltzer that passes the vibe check. Brewers have had their leadoff man aboard coming into this inning in 3 of the 4 innings. So kind of breaking news that the leadoff man retired here for the Diamondbacks. The first pitch to Contreras, a swing and a miss at a sinker at 99, and it's 0-1. Brewers got after Jose Cabrera tonight, but again probably felt like they should have gotten more against him. 0-1, and Contreras took down and away with a curveball. It's even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-3, Brewers and Diamondbacks. Top of the 5th inning here at Chase Field in Arizona. The 1-1 pitch that missed for a ball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. That was up and in just a little bit on Contreras. Attendance tonight 31,820 here at Chase Field on the eve of the 4th of July. 2-1. Contreras, a liner into left. That's going to get down for a base hit. Over there to cut it off on a couple of hops is Gurriel, and Contreras will be content with a single that was smoked at 106 off the bat of Contreras. So the Brewers have a base runner. They have had a base runner in every inning so far against these Diamondbacks. Contreras now 2 for 3 in this game, and now here's the 2 for 2. Jake Bowers had the RBI single back in the 3rd. At that time it made it 3-0. Felt like the Brewers were going to cruise along in this one at that point. The pitch is lined but foul down the 3rd base line. It's 0-1 on Jake. And 4th of July tomorrow, we had pretty impressive company throwing out the first pitch before the game tonight. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. George Washington threw out the first pitch tonight, John. That wasn't the real one, though, right?
First, I didn't remember. I was like, who was impressed? Oh, yeah, it was General Washington. He looked good. He looked good for being about 300.
Better general than a pitcher, based upon the first pitch. The 0-2 pitch. Bowers checks on a changeup down and away. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Didn't quite get it there. I've seen worse first pitches, especially from the best first president in our country's history. 1-2. This one's fouled out of play, third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count remains. Yeah, the first pitch from the first president. How about that?
I think Martha would have been proud. I really got into it when they later had George Washington on the field hawking merchandise.
Holding a piece of merchandise that you could buy. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball sharply hit. Vargas plays it on a couple of hops, runs to the bag to retire Bowers, and then they get Contreras in between in a rundown, and the ball was dropped, and Contreras is going to be safe at second. Wow. Vargas got it, stepped on the bag, spun and threw, and Perdomo ended up tagging out Contreras, but he dropped the ball as he tagged him, and Contreras is called safe. We're seeing if the Diamondbacks want to challenge it. It does not appear they're going to. He tagged him out and the ball just came free. It just became dislodged. There were no other throws between Vargas and Perdomo. He threw it to Perdomo. He ran Contreras back and the ball came out. And then when it came dislodged, that was the other part. It rolled clear out to right field. So 2 outs, runner at second. And here's Garrett Mitchell. Loaizaga brings home the pitch, and that missed outside. 1-0. And that's a big deal to get Mitchell to the plate right now. This guy is as hot as any hitter in baseball at the current moment. Should have 2 home runs tonight. Has had to settle for just the 1 after Gurriel robbed him of 1 in his second at bat. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 97. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Contreras at second with 2 outs. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss at a changeup. Loaizaga's got a very good changeup. It is a tough pitch for these left-handed hitters. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mitchell. One-two pitch. Missed outside of the changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just in case you need us to clean things up for you, if you're scoring along with us, that's an E6 on Perdomo that allows Contreras to get to second. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mitchell. Loaizaga brings home the pitch and a swing and a miss. Worked a change up away. Mitchell came up empty. Brewers strand a runner in scoring position in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of 5, tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Hey fans, it's the freebie in the 5th.
It's a 3-3 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Chase Field in Phoenix. Chad Patrick is back out there. He worked a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. He's retired all 4 batters that he's faced. He'll face Perdomo, Carroll, and Moreno here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brewers have had some opportunities. It's been the theme of this game really for both teams. Some missed opportunities offensively. 12 hits between the two teams. 7 for the Brewers already tonight. 5 for Arizona as Perdomo lines the first pitch from Patrick foul into the Brewers dugout. It's 0-1. Patrick at just 14 pitches out of the pen so far. Misses a little low with a cut fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was low. Not by much, but it was not in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. That's high with a fastball at 95, and it's 2-1. This is the original organization for Chad Patrick. Brewers picked him up from the A's, but originally drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-1. Now one's fouled back and out of play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will go down as one of the good recent trades the Brewers have made. They've made a lot of them, but Abraham Toro for Chad Patrick has paid off in a big way for the Crew. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Elevated a cutter at 91. And an ortho ASAP strikeout for Chad Patrick. Don't strike out. Get back to the active lifestyle you want at ortho ASAP. See a specialist today at orthowisconsin.com. 1 away for Corbin Carroll. Well, the sounds of summer. The crack of the bat. The chirps of the birds. And the sizzle of the grill. Now you're talking. First pitch to Carroll is popped up. This one into shallow right. Going out is Terang, the second baseman. Calling off. Frelick makes the catch. And there's 2 outs for Patrick here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Yeah, there's nothing better than those things. That means it's summertime in Wisconsin. Maybe you've got yourself on the boat and you've gone out for the morning and casted a line. You're on your way back to the dock and you're thinking, man, you know what I want? I want to get that grill going and I want some Usinger's famous sausage. Why wouldn't you want that? Here's Gabriel Moreno. First pitch to him. He is in there for a strike on a sinking fastball at 97. And it's 0-1. It's made right in Milwaukee and it's simply the best you can get. And after you've been out on the water, maybe you were skiing. You're still hungry? You want the Usingers. This pitch missed down and away with a cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike. Or maybe you're Josh Mauer and you're in Arizona and you've gone on a long hike. Josh likes to go on hikes here in Arizona.
Not as much as Mr. Leverett.
The 1-1. This one's popped up towards Chad Patrick. He's going to get out of the way and let Jake Bowers make the catch between the mound and first base. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Chad Pat. He's retired all 7 he's faced out of the bullpen here tonight for the Crew. We're tied at 3 as we head to the 6th on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
High-tech
Sixth inning is the Woodman's Food Market's home run, and our contestant is Johnny Latshaw from Milwaukee. Johnny will win a gift card jackpot of $350 if a member of the crew hits a home run this inning, and $100 would be added to the total for each additional home run this half. Visit any participating Woodman's store to enter. Service and savings, that's Woodman's. Visit WTMJ.com for official contest rules and details. The Diamondbacks have gone to the bullpen. Kevin Ginkel will take over on the mound for Arizona. That is a North Shore adult diaper pitching change. If you've got a tinkle and they went to Ginkel, well, hopefully you're wearing a North Shore adult diaper. Go to northshore.com. Sal Frelick will lead things off against Ginkel. First pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Sal 0 for 2 tonight. Line out to left and flied out to center back in the third inning. He's been on it here recently at the plate. Pitch is up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the hardest guys to strike out in Major League Baseball. He's in good company with Luis Arraez and a few others. 1-1. That is in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nico Horner in that grouping as well. I saw today Luis Arraez hasn't struck out, I believe it was in 76 plate appearances. In his last 76 plate appearances, has not struck out. 1-2 is down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Sal Frelick.
He's the closest thing we have to Tony Gwynn in our game today.
Yeah.
Tony would go like 2 months.
2 seasons. I think it was 2 seasons he would go without striking out. 2-2 to Frelick. He is a one-hopper to second base. Played by Marte. Plenty of time to sling it over sidearm to first to take care of Frelick. And there's one away for Cooper Pratt. Pratt has had a good night at the plate. This has been a good sign for the Brewers. The youngster had been scuffling a little bit at the plate, but he's walked, and he's got a single tonight. Came up and really swung the bat well that first week or so. Always a little uneven with a young player when they first come up. Swing and a miss. He was trying to get his first big league home run on that swing at that slider. Came up empty. It's 0-1. Ginkel debuted all the way back in 2019. He's 32 years of age. 0-1 is in there for a strike, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. 35 appearances this year, 3.06 ERA. He really struggled a year ago. A 7.36 ERA last year in just 25 2/3 innings. But he's bounced back this year and pitched well. 0-2 here. 0-2 here on 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 6th. The pitch. Pratt took high, and it's 1-2. Chad Patrick's been great in the Brewers bullpen. It's quiet out there in that Brewers pen, so you can expect Patrick to go back out for the 6th inning. 1-2 is a roller foul up the third baseline. And we do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hope you're having a fun and safe Independence Day weekend. Drive safely, be responsible in more ways than one. 1-2 swing and a miss. Chased a slider down and away. Pratt strikes out. There's 2 down now for David Hamilton. Hamilton has struck out. He's also walked. First offering swung on and fouled back into the net, and it's 0-1. Both of his previous plate appearances tonight were against Cabrera. He did not face Loaizaga, who came in and cleaned up that 4th inning. That right now looms very large, along with the Gurriel home run robbery, of course, of Garrett Mitchell. It really feels like the Brewers have dominated this game, but it's tied 3-3 here in the 6th. Hamilton takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think the thing about it is it's not just like you robbed a home run. It's like you robbed 3 home runs.
Yeah, that's a great point.
2 men on base.
1-1. Missed low. 2 balls and 1 strike on Hamilton.
Yeah, that was a big deal. We always talk about how 3-run home runs win you games. 2-1. Pop back foul and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Robbing a 3-run home run maybe doesn't win you a game, but it gives you a chance to still win the game. Two outs and nobody on here in the 6th inning for the Crew. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Hamilton. Pitch is low and the count is full. 3-2. Just trying to get Yelich to the plate here and turn it over to the top of that lineup. If you're David Hamilton. And now time is called as Hamilton steps out of the box. Ginkel has not worked since the 29th against the Giants, so a few days ago. Here's a ground ball off of Ginkel. It deflects over to Perdomo. He does not have a play on the speedy Hamilton, so it'll be a base hit for David Hamilton. He's reached for the 2nd time tonight. That was smoked right back at Ginkel. They're going to go out and check on him to make sure he's okay. Get a look at the replay here. Yeah, I think he got the bottom of his cleat, perhaps, which might have been a better result than other places where it could have hit him. And it deflected all the way over to Perdomo, and it got to Perdomo so quickly. If somebody else is running, he might have had a play, but not with David Hamilton. Trainer's out to check on Ginkel here, and he was trying to wave him off. He says he's fine. Torey Lovello and the trainer on their way back into the dugout now. Back of the heel is where it looks like it got him, and maybe got as much of the soul as anything else.
Everybody's thinking about soccer these days. That was a kick save and a beauty.
I'll take your word for it. Me not know soccer. He steps off and throws to first, and Hamilton back into the bag.
If they had gotten the out, it really would have been a beauty. Base hit regardless.
Yelich the batter. Speed at first for the Brewers with 2 outs with Hamilton over there. And the pitch. Yelich took outside. It's 1-0. Three to 3 here, top of the 6th inning. Brewers trying to put together a 2-out rally. Yelich tonight has walked. He's lined out. He's grounded out. 1-0 pitch is fouled back and out of play. And it's 1-1. First of 3. And the first of an 11-game road trip for the Brewers. This is going to be a grinder for Milwaukee for sure. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. A little late on a fastball at 97. He climbed the ladder with that one. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top rail right at the very top of the strike zone. Would have been a strike. That is such a good pitch. It's such a tough pitch to get to for any hitter. There goes the runner. 1-2 pitch is a bouncer on the left side. Big hop for Arenado. Fields and throws to first in time to take care of Yelich, and the inning is over. Now, Brewers still have yet to be retired in order, but this game's still tied. It's a 3-3 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 6th on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
team601.org.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Chad Patrick back out there for the Crew. He's retired all 7 that he's faced so far. He has answered the call, and the Brewers desperately needed him to after Kyle Harrison couldn't get out of the 3rd inning tonight. A rare tough outing for Kyle Harrison, just really his 2nd tough outing of the year. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. will lead things off for the Diamondbacks here. It'll be Gurriel, Arenado, and Vargas to come to the plate against Patrick. In the 6th, the 3-3 ball game. Brewers and Diamondbacks. First pitch swinging for Gurriel. Deep left. Churrio's back at the track, at the wall. He jumped up, and Jackson Chourio brought it back. How does that feel, Gurriel? Jack goes back to the wall, makes a leaping catch at the wall for the first out of the inning. And that has been an emphasis for Jackson Chourio. That was going to get out. Trying to improve on plays at the wall. I think that was going to hit the top of the yellow padding and then roll out of there. One down, and here's Nolan Arenado. That missed down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. That's been a little bit of a bugaboo for Jackson at times, getting back to the wall, making plays at the wall on those types of swings. And obviously it's a challenging play to make regardless, but executed it beautifully that time as Arenado takes low with a cutter. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Missed down and away. 3 balls and no strikes on Arenado. 1 out, nobody on here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Arenado, man, he's been a thorn in the Brewers' side over the course of his career. 2-run double back in the 3rd inning. That tied the game. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Patrick's 3-0 pitch is right through there, and it's 3-1. Make tailgating easy this season by picking up the George Webb Double Play Meal Deal on your way to the game. 7 cheeseburgers and 2 orders of fries for just $17.99. The perfect pregame meal for hungry baseball fans. Arenado takes another strike with a sinking fastball. At 96, it's 3-2. Patrick has been great tonight for the Brewers out of the pen. 3-2 pitch. Chopper, third base side, but foul. And we'll do it again at 3-2. He's thrown just 29 pitches, too. He's been pretty efficient. And one would think this could be his last inning of relief. We'll see how Pat Murphy plays it.
I mean, if you think about it, he got 8 outs on 24 pitches for this batter.
Yeah, this is the lengthiest battle he's really had so far. 3-2 and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Blew a fastball by him at 97. Another ortho ASAP strikeout for Patrick, his 2nd of the night. And it would be a big deal if he could get this next out in efficient fashion, because you could have him available as early as Sunday potentially because of how efficient he's been able to be tonight. First offering to Vargas. He is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Good job battling back in that count by Chad Patrick, too, after falling behind 3-0 to come back and strike out a guy that might be on the backside of his career, but I don't care. He's tough to strike out Nolan Arenado. He's a good hitter. The 0-1. That is a strike at the knees. It's 0-2 on Vargas, who stands there in protest of the call from David Rackley, but did not challenge, and he would have lost it if he had. It was a strike at the bottom of the zone on the low outside corner. 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Big hop for Hamilton. Has to throw it across late. Vargas sprinting up the line. Hamilton kind of double clutched the throw. I don't know if he didn't have his footing or didn't have the grip the way he wanted it to. And had to stay back and kind of let that ball play him just a little bit. That little hesitation was enough to cost him. The throw wasn't on line anyway, but yeah, he didn't have the grip. So he had to do a second grasp of the baseball, and I'm not sure he ever had a very good grip on it, even once he did let it fly, to be honest with you. So Contreras is out there for a Potawatomi Sportsbook trip to the mound to talk things over with Patrick. Wall-to-wall screens, elite dining, and over 95 kiosks. It's a fan's dream. Potawatomi Sportsbook become a legend. And Max Kepler is going to pinch hit here for the Diamondbacks, the former Minnesota Twin and former Philadelphia Philly. So Kepler's going to hit for Lou James Groover, the youngster. They get the lefty up there against Patrick. This feels like a big moment. It will be a single for Vargas on that ball to Hamilton over at third. First pitch to Kepler is a fly ball to left, right in the tracks of Chourio. Back 2 steps, squares up and makes the catch, and the inning is over. Chourio with a wonderful catch to start up the bottom of the 6th inning, and keeping the score at 3 as we go to the 7th on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance. It's a 3-3 ball game as we head to the 7th inning here at Chase Field, and back in with the play-by-play. Here's Josh Maurer.
Thank you, Lane, and again, a happy start to your Independence Day weekend, everybody. Got a good ball game here to start off this series in Phoenix. Jackson Chourio, Bryce Terang, William Contreras, 2, 3, and 4 in the card coming up against the hard-throwing right-hander Juan Murillo. This guy can bring it with his fastball. 37th appearance of the year for the Snakes. 2 wins, 4 losses. He's got a save and a 2.78 ERA. This guy's got 41 strikeouts in 32 innings pitched this year. Jackson's had a tough night at the plate, but a great night in left field. 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Pitch down and away, 99.6 on the radar gun reading we get. So he could round that up to triple digits. Nobody has scored since that 3rd inning. 1-0 pitch is at the top of the zone. 100 on the gun, 1-1. It's so funny how these days we don't even flinch or bat an eyelash when you see 100. Like an every night occurrence where it used to be something that would make your jaw drop. 1-1. Down and away. Again, 100 on the gun from Murillo, 2-1. Brewers have multiple arms that'll touch triple digits on the gun.
It's changed a lot even in the last 10 years.
Here comes 2-1. Swing and a miss. Got a slider. 2-2 on Chourio. Yeah, I feel like it's even changed a lot in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it I remember when I first started working for the Brewers in 2016, 2017, a guy hit triple digits. It was still kind of like pretty newsworthy.
And this one's right down the middle. 100 miles an hour, and Jackson couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. He strikes out. Third time he's fanned tonight. And that brings up Bryce Terang. Crew has been around since 1970. Habish, and Rotier even longer. If you're injured in an accident, call the firm Wisconsinites have trusted for over 95 years. 3-3 ball game. Terang 1 for 3, a third inning single. And he lofts a foul off to our left and well up out of play. Brewers, if you're just joining us, at a 3-0 lead in the top of the third. And then Garrett Mitchell hit what looked like a 3-run homer. Chopper very softly hit to the pitcher. Played by Murillo, running over towards the bag, and he'll underhand it over to first in time to get Terang. Soft ground out, 2 very quick outs for Juan Murillo. Brings up Contreras. Anyway, Garrett Mitchell hit a ball to left that was up well over the yellow line and headed for the first or second row of seats behind it. But then the left fielder, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., leapt up, reached over that wall, and he caught it. And it was going to be 6-0 Milwaukee. Instead, after that, Jose Cabrera, the pitcher, got the next out and kept it 3-0. And about 15 minutes later, the Snakes scored 3 runs and tied it. Contreras 2 for 3 tonight. Takes a called strike, 100 miles an hour if you round up. Neither pitcher got through 4 innings. The starters, Harrison and then Cabrera, pulled after 10 outs. William takes outside corner with a slider, 0-2. Harrison had only recorded 8 outs for the Brewers in a short outing, but Chad Patrick has done the entire bullpen a huge solid after that. 0-2 pitch, down low on Contreras. Patrick looks like he's finished. Aaron Ashby's up in the bullpen for Milwaukee. But Chad, 3 1/3 innings, only 1 base runner. And he's kept the game tied at 3. 1-2 on William Contreras. 2 out of the bases clear. Murillo deals home. Fly ball hit to center. Playable for Tommy Troy in a few steps, and now waiting. Troy makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the first time tonight for the Diamondbacks. Time to stretch here in Phoenix. Brewers and Diamondbacks tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
ResortGolf.com. Escape to the Island Resort and Casino, where championship golf, relaxing spa treatments, great dining, and casino excitement create the perfect summer getaway. Again, Chad Patrick, big tip of the cap. He won't be involved in the decision in this game, but he settled everything down. 3 1/3 innings. Retired 10 of the 11 batters he faced and only threw 34 pitches. Ashby versus Troy, and the curveball drops in knee-high for strike one. Tommy Troy, the rookie. He's blown out twice. Now the 0-1. Down and away from Ashby on a changeup. Aaron had 2 great appearances in the Red Series this week. He won back-to-back games. What else is new? Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on a changeup to Tommy Troy, 1-2. Ashby got the win on Tuesday. On Monday, and then he got the win again on Wednesday. 2 1/3 scoreless combined in those 2 games against Cincinnati. He misses with a curve, 2-2 on Troy. Overall this season in 40 prior outings, 12-1. Leads the majors and wins, 3.16 ERA. Left-handers 2-2. Troy lifts foul and out of play down the right field line. So that's the recipe. Just get a scoreless inning here and then go score a run or two.
I mean, that's how it's worked out.
2-2, chopped foul. Changeup that Tommy Troy spoiled.
Yeah, the Brewers pitching staff, it features Jacob Mizorowski, Kyle Harrison, and the winningest pitcher in baseball.
Right. Inarguable fact. Here's another 2-2. Down in the dirt, spiked a curveball, and it's 3-2 on Tommy Troy. That was a foot or two in front of the plate. 8 William Contreras alive. Got to the backstop. With the top of the order following Troy, this is a big pitch. 3-2 leading off the bottom of the 7th. Here it is. Outside, he walked him. For a 3-2 changeup to the rookie. And the go-ahead runner is on base. First time Tommy Troy has reached against the Brewers. Ketel Marte had an infield hit as part of that 3-run 3rd inning rally that knocked Kyle Harrison from the game. First pitch to him here is low with a curve, 1-0. Ashby will issue his walks. 27 now in 51-plus innings this season. Troy takes his lead at first, and the throw over that way from Aaron, checking on Tommy Troy. He is safe on a head-first dive. Drive Around the League presented by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors building Wisconsin together. Get to that after the 1-0 coming to Ketel Marte, batting from the right side, and he pops it into left. Jackson Churios in there with a play, medium depth, makes the catch. And back to first goes Troy on out number 1. Marte could not get the arms extended on that. Geraldo Perdomo coming to the plate. Well, whatever momentum the Reds got yesterday in salvaging a game in that series by beating Jacob Mizorowski, it did not continue tonight into their home game against the Orioles. They were shut out 3-0. Game started by Trevor Rogers. Perdomo's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Switch hitter turns around. He's batting right-handed. And the pitch. Down the middle. 97 with sink from Ashby. 0-1 the count. Pirates lost in the nation's capital to the Washington Nationals 9-5. Nationals hit 5 homers in that game, including 2 from Luis Garcia Jr. Throw to first by Ashby, and safe on a dive again is Tommy Troy. Luis Garcia Jr. now has 18 home runs this season. 13 in his last 25 games played. Where did that come from? Nationals have played well. There goes the runner. The pitch is down low. Throw to second by Contreras. Off the glove of Terang. They wouldn't have had him anyway. Safe at second is Tommy Troy with his first career stolen base. And it's 1-1 on Geraldo Perdomo. The go-ahead run gets into scoring position with only 1 out. A walk and a steal. Contreras had a shot. It was a changeup. Throw was just a little bit to the first base side of second base. And again, Terang didn't squeeze it cleanly. 1-1 Perdomo takes another changeup low. 2-1. Told you the Cubs lost 17-1 at Wrigley this afternoon to the Cardinals. 3-3 here, bottom 7. Ashby has his sign in the 2-1. Then on the ground towards third, David Hamilton, short hop pick. Nice play and a throw on the run in time. Then the runner stays put at second base. Hamilton picked that ball charging towards home plate on a short hop. Not an easy play, and he made it look as such.
He's been tested over there tonight with some challenging plays. That might have been the toughest one of them all. Executed it beautifully.
So Perdomo out 5-3. You've got Corbin Carroll coming up and Chris Hook coming out. Brewers do have Abner Uribe getting loose in the bullpen here, but no reason to take Ashby out. They want him to face the left-handed hitting Corbin Carroll for sure. They're just going over the game plan in this 3-3 game. Trips to the mound presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook with wall-to-wall screens, elite dining, and over 95 kiosks. It's a fan's dream. Potawatomi Sportsbook, become a legend.
I will say you have first base open. You can be careful here because you have Uribe ready to face Moreno if you would end up walking Carroll.
I think maybe, Lane, you're right. That's probably part of that conversation. You're not going to intentionally walk him, but you don't want to give him something good to hit. Carroll tonight 1 for 3, a third inning single. First pitch. Nailed the lower outside corner with a 98-mile-an-hour sinker. A perfect pitcher's pitch, and so it's 0-1. Go-ahead run at second. The rookie Tommy Troy with 2 out. Lefty versus lefty here. Ashby with an 0-1. Carroll took the curveball down low. Corbin Carroll's been a clutch hitter, too, over the course of his big league career. Pitch, line to left. Chourio backing up with a play and moving over towards the line. Reaches out backhanded. Jackson makes the catch. And Aaron Ashby, no problem after that leadoff walk. Runner stranded at second base. This game's going to be decided late, folks. We go to the 8th. And it is late at home, by the way. Happy 11 o'clock. Tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network. Presented by American Family Insurance. Left-hander Braden Garcia is going to come in to pitch the 8th inning for the Diamondbacks with 3 lefties. Bowers, Mitchell, and Frelick due up, tied at 3. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Brewers Radio Network. Brewers looking to get the lead. It is 3-3, and here with the late innings is Lane Grindle.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. Yep, Brandon Garcia takes over on the mound. Bowers, Mitchell, Frelick to hit. You do have Andrew Vaughn on your bench at some point if you wanted to go to the lefty masher at some point this inning. First offering to Jake Bowers is up and away, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Garcia's been good this year for the Diamondbacks. 23 appearances, a 2.33 ERA. He had 14 career appearances coming into this season. 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside edge with a sinker at 97. Just barely caught the very outside part of the plate. It did too. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. He's had good command. 21 strikeouts over the course of his 19 1/3 innings for Garcia. Missed outside with a sweeper. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. A 3-3 ball game. Top of the 8th inning here at Chase Field in Phoenix. The 2-1. And Bowers a liner down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It'll roll into the corner. It's extra bases for Jake. Motoring into second with a leadoff double here in the top of the 8th inning. There you go. That's a good way to start this inning for the Crew. $75 to the MAC Fund, courtesy of Westman, the Silver Lining. And there's that go-ahead run out there for you if you're the Brewers. Great job staying on that sinker at the top of the zone and lining that ball the other way down the left field line for Bowers. His 13th double of the season. Now here's Garrett Mitchell. Corners pinching in. Mitchell squaring the bunt. Pulls the bat back and took high. It's 1-0. Andrew Vaughn has emerged. He's in the on-deck circle. He would hit for Frelick. Again, the corners pinching in. Arenado and Vargas anticipating a bunt from Mitchell. Garcia brings home the pitch and came up and in. And Mitchell had to spin out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes. He was squaring the bunt again. Leadoff double from Jake Bowers here in what has turned into a really tight contest on this Friday night, game 1 of this series. A 3-3 ball game. The 2-0 pitch and swinging away this time for Mitchell. He takes a strike with a sinker at 98. It's 2-1. Will the bunt be put back on now that he's seen a strike? Garcia looking in. And he wheels back towards second without a throw. Bowers back to the bag. Vargas is selling out for this bunt. He is coming all the way down that first baseline. Arenado playing in front of the bag, but on the edge of the grass. But Vargas is selling out for the bunt. Here's the 2-1. That missed low. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. It'd be interesting to see if you would actually let Frelick hit, if there would be a walk of Mitchell here and you'd have first and second, nobody out. 3-1. That is a little bit high, and Mitchell walks, and it looks like Vaughn is going to still hit. So we'll have a pinch hitter here, Andrew Vaughn. After the ortho ASAP walk of Mitchell, thought maybe you could stick with Frelick there in bunt with runners at first and second and nobody out, but the Brewers want to get their guy, who's been as good against lefties as about anybody in baseball this year, to the plate with a big opportunity for him. So we got a trip to the mound as Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach, is out there to talk things over about this pinch hitter with Garcia. Trips to the mound brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Wall-to-wall screens, elite dining, and over 95 kiosks. It's a fan's dream. Potawatomi Sportsbook, become a legend. So a big opportunity here for the Brewers. Leadoff double and now a walk. And Andrew Vaughn coming to the plate.
So Frelick ends the night 0 for 3. Vaughn has been so good against lefties all season long. Garcia, first pitch missed inside. It's 1-0. Today's 8th inning is being brought to you by the Wisconsin Laborers District Council. Earn great union wages and benefits, building Wisconsin's infrastructure. Learn more at liunawisconsin.org, liuna-wisconsin.org, and feel the power. The pitch, a swing and a miss. A little late on a 95-mile-an-hour cut fastball. It's 1-1 on Vaughn. Top of the 8th inning, tied at 3. Brewers have out hit the Diamondbacks 9-6 in this game. Here's the 1-1. Vaughn, a ground ball, foul up the third base line. It's 1-2. Cooper Pratt in the on-deck circle. It's a big at bat in this inning. At the very least, you'd like to try to move the runners if you're Vaughn. Garcia in a little bit of trouble here in this 8th. 1-2 pitch and a chopper right side, going to be fielded by Vargas. He'll flip it to second for one. That's all they'll get, as Garcia was late to get over to first and cover the bag. So Perdomo had to just eat the baseball, and so maybe not the outcome that Vaughn was looking for, but certainly not the worst outcome either. You get the runner to third with less than 2 outs. So you got Bowers at third, and now you'll have Blake Perkins pinch running over at first base for Andrew Vaughn after reaching on the fielder's choice. Goes 3-6 on the put out of Mitchell, the middle runner. And now here's Cooper Pratt, one of the bigger spots he's had in his brief time in the big leagues. Runners on the corners in 1 out. Garcia looks at first and now tosses that way, and back in there safely is Blake Perkins. Cooper struck out in his last at bat. Throughout most of his career in the minor leagues, though, he's been a guy that makes a lot of contact. He is a guy that typically puts the ball in play. And now another toss to first, and both disengagements have been used. So Garcia certainly wary of Blake Perkins over there at first base. Bowers at third. There is 1 out. Here's the pitch, and Pratt bunts it in front of home plate. They don't have a play. They're going to throw behind the runner at third instead, and they got Bowers. Bowers drifted down the line a couple of steps, and Moreno picks it out in front of the plate and throws to third and gets Bowers. It was not a good bunt by Pratt. He bunted it straight in front of the plate on one big bounce, and Moreno played it perfectly. And now the Brewers first and second and 2 away, and David Hamilton will be the batter. He bunted it. In fact, when he got that bunt down, Josh, I think it actually hit behind the plate initially. That's how much downward angle that bunt had from Cooper Pratt. And I think the Brewers maybe are going to use a pinch hitter here. They're going to send Joey Ortiz to the plate instead of David Hamilton. So it'll be Joey Ortiz here, as Pratt safe at first on the fielder's choice. Perkins to second now, and it was 2-5 on the putout at third base. And see if Ortiz can come through with another clutch hit. Remember, he began this week with a big swing on Monday night against the Reds in a similar situation. It was a 3-3 ball game in the 8th inning. It was a 2-run home run that he hit with Frelick on base on Monday night, and that really seemed to catapult him into the next couple of days. He's been swinging the bat pretty well ever since. Get the righty up there against the lefty Garcia. The pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy is a refreshing Weiss beer with natural lemonade flavor. Leinenkugel's, flavor the moment. Here's the 0-1, and Ortiz sprays it foul first base side, and it's 0-2 on Joey.
Promising start to this inning, but now the Brewers need a big 2-out hit. And Ortiz is in an 0-2 hole at the plate. Garcia brings home the pitch and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Oh, a leadoff double for the Brewers. They had first and second, nobody out. Couldn't get the run home. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
When it comes
Well, we're tied at 3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brewers and Diamondbacks. Game 1 of this series has been quite a game 1. Lot of action early, and now the bullpens have really taken over late and made some big pitches. Abner Uribe takes over on the mound for the Brewers. Well, you thought Aaron Ashby was going to be in position to win another one tonight after that leadoff double from Bowers. But now they need a 0 from Abner Uribe for the Crew. He's been in a good place of late on the mound. Unscored upon in his last 6 outings, 6 1/3, 2 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts in that time, and a 1.08 over his last 16 appearances. First pitch to Gabriel Moreno, misses up and in, and it's 1-0. Paul Sewald getting loose in the Diamondbacks bullpen. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Diamondbacks scoreboard operators had the score 3-2 there for the last 5 minutes or so, and somebody, I think, found them out. It's back to 3-3, which is what the score actually is. The 1-1. Missed down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't know who they thought they were fooling. And now they've gone back to 3-2. We know better. Gonna have to pay attention to that as this game goes along. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Moreno. Uribe brings home the pitch, missed up and in. It goes to 3-1. Moreno, the right-handed hitter. Gurriel, a right-handed hitter. Arenado, due up third, a right-handed hitter. So this is a good spot for Abner Uribe. It's set up like the Brewers would want it to be, with all these righties. Here's the 3-1. That's in there for a strike, and the count is full. It's 3-2. It's really weird. They keep flipping the score back and forth. It says 3-2 on this Diamondback scoreboard. Can't go over there and tell them. I'm going to be like the parent at a youth sporting event. Make sure they get the score right. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Moreno. Uribe kicks, delivers, and a ground ball through the right side and into right field. It's a base hit. So leadoff man aboard for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Remember, the Brewers had the leadoff double in the top half of the inning.
but were unable to cash in. Now it'll be Uribe's turn to try to strand a runner here in this bottom of the 8th inning. Well, celebrating 50 years as Wisconsin's hometown favorite ice cream, Cedar Crest is the taste you know and the taste you love. Just like Usinger sausage, a Milwaukee original for nearly 150 years. And Pine River cheese spreads, more of Wisconsin's award-winning cheeses, simply the best in class. Here's Gurriel. First pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Gurriel in his last at bat had a ball that looked like it perhaps was going to get out in left. Chourio made the catch at the wall. Uribe's 0-1. He is a fly ball to left, right in the tracks of Chourio. Barely has to move to make the catch for the first out. Hit well, but right at Jackson. That was a sinker at 100.2 from Abner. It left the bat at 104. It's a big first out for Uribe, who can always roll up a double play at a moment's notice with that power sinker and that slider combo against right-handed hitters. And he's got a double play candidate here in Nolan Arenado. One of the biggest swings in this game came from Arenado back in the 3rd inning, a 2-run double. He takes the slider down low, and it's 1-0. What a game this has been. Tied at 3, and by the way, the scoreboard reflects that now. In the bottom of the 8th, Uribe, the 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike with a slider. And it's 1-1.
You might have heard a cheer that apparently came out of nowhere when Gurriel was batting. That's actually the moment they fixed the scoreboard. The whole crowd cheered.
1 ball and they were paying attention. Good for the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike on Arenado. The pitch. And he landed another slider for a strike. And it's 1-2 on the veteran Nolan Arenado. It's been strange seeing him in a Diamondbacks uniform. There weren't so much purple tonight. It's like he's a Rocky again right now. 1-2. Missed down and away. Good stop by Contreras on a sinker at 101 that he had to reach across into the other batter's box to stop from going back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Arenado. Uribe. Long hold. And now the pitch. And a liner caught by Pratt at short for the 2nd out. Was not hit overly hard. Easy play for Pratt to make. And there's 2 down for Ildemaro Vargas. So Uribe trying to work around the leadoff single here. He's an out away from doing so. Vargas, a couple of hits tonight. Infield single back in the 6th inning and a base hit up the middle. Back in the 2nd inning into center field. Uribe's first pitch squaring to bunt. And he pulls the bat back and he took low. It's 1-0. Interesting.
Well, if he gets one up the 3rd baseline, it'd be a hit.
Yeah, Joey is playing back and shaded towards the shortstop position for the Brewers' 3rd baseman. The 1-0 pitch. Had nailed the outside edge with a sinking fastball at 99.3. And it's 1-1 on Ildemaro Vargas. Brewers will have the top of their order due up in the top of the 9th inning. Presumably they'll be facing Paul Sewald, who is getting loose in the Diamondbacks bullpen. 1 ball and 1 strike on Vargas. Uribe brings home the pitch and a swing and a miss. Sinker at 99. He blew it past him. It's 1-2. Inning began with a ground ball through the right side for a base hit for Moreno. Uribe has retired the next 2 batters. And the 1-2 pitch. And he got him looking. It's going to be challenged, though, by Vargas. Sinker
pitch was
at
ruled
100.
a strike. The batter's challenging.
And he is going to lose this one. This is going to be a boom, and this is going to be a strikeout for Uribe. Boom.
Pitch was a strike. It's strike 3. Arizona has 1 challenge remaining.
Abner was pretty confident again. He did his celebration as the ABS challenge was going on. He did tamp it down just a little bit, though. It was a little more muted than normal for Abner Uribe. Yeah, he puts up a 0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. To the 9th we go, tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance. Sewald takes over on the mound for Arizona. It is a 3-3 ball game as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Sewald, the veteran, debuted all the way back in 2017. He was part of this Diamondbacks team when they went to the World Series back in 2023. He was traded over that year from Seattle. Bounced around a little bit last year. Cleveland, Detroit, signed back with Arizona. 33 appearances. He's been pretty gettable at times this year. 4.50 ERA for the one-time New York Met. Christian Yelich on the top of the order to the plate for the Brewers, and Yelich takes a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Yelich 0 for 7 lifetime against Paul Sewald with 6 strikeouts. Yelich tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk. Here's the 0-1. And Yelich checked as they appeal to third. He did check in time, says Charlie Ramos, on a sweeper down below the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sewald, 36 years of age. 1-1, missed outside, maybe a touch high. It's going to be challenged by Moreno.
Pitcher throw the ball, the catcher's challenging.
And he's going to win this one. This is a strike on the outside edge, I believe. And it is.
Pitcher strike, counts 1 and 2. Arizona has 1 challenge.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count now on Yelich. Those challenges brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Sewald looks in and brings home the pitch, and Yelich able to check on a pitch up and in. It's 2-2. Yelich, Churio, and Turang. Neither Churio or Turang have ever faced Sewald before. So Yelich, the only one of this trio that has previously seen this right-hander. The 2-2 pitch is chopper to second base. Ranging to his left is Marte. Bobbled it. The throw to first is in time, according to Chris Guccione, who was a little late getting to his position to make that call. We're going to look in and see if the Brewers want to challenge it. They will not. He did get it right. Credit Paul Sewald for hustling over there because Marte bobbled it. Little bit of indecision between Vargas and Marte who was going to take it. Vargas had to just fall down and get out of his way. And Sewald was hustling over and just got the throw by a very small margin before Yelich got to the bag. There's one away. And here's Churio. Sewald's first offering. Jackson took a strike on the outside edge, and it's 0-1.
A tough break for the Brewers there. It looked like maybe that was going to be the window that would open for the Brewers here in this 9th inning. The 0-1. And a fly ball to left and deep. Back on it is Gurriel at the track. Jumps up and makes the catch in front of the wall for the second out of the inning. That one wasn't going to get out, but still a nice play by Gurriel, getting back to the track and having one hand on the wall as he reached up and made the catch. Two down, and now here's Bryce Turang. Paul Sewald off the bat wasn't so sure if that one was going to get out or not, and I think that might have had a shot to get out. Getting a look at the replay, pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes. More than likely it hits at the top of the wall if he doesn't get the glove to it, but he got back in plenty of time. That was not nearly as dramatic as his robbery of Mitchell. 1-0. Pitch missed down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. 3-3, top of the 9th inning. Trevor McGill getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. .2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, and it's 2-1 on Turang. Bryce is 1 for 4 tonight. Brewers would love to put together a 2-out rally here. It has been kind of quiet. Brewers have had a lot of base runners in this game. This one's fouled back and out of play behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bryce. They've only been retired in order once in this game. That was in the 7th inning. Sewald looks in. Here's the 2-2 to Turang, and a foul ball third base side in that play. That one got in on him a little bit with a fastball at 93. Turang extending the at bat, battling. This will be the 6th pitch of this sequence between Sewald and Turang. Here's the 2-2. And a ground ball sharply hit under the glove of Arenado and into left field for a base hit for Bryce. So Turang extends the inning, his 2nd hit of the night, and that'll get Contreras to the plate. So Contreras, a guy that can always leave the yard at a moment's notice, and is the only Brewer on the roster that had a hit previously against Paul Sewald. He is 1 for 1 against him in his career. Spin throw to first. Turang is back in time. Disengagement used by Sewald.
And I wonder if William gives Bryce a pitch here to try to steal second base and get himself into scoring position.
Bryce is always a threat. Being held on by Vargas. Here's the pitch and a fly ball into right center. Corbin Carroll's going to take charge, make the catch, and the inning is over. Brewers got 2-out single from Turang, but that was it. They strand him at first. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is a 3-3 ball game on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
I'm Pat Dunphy.
Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and it is a 3-3 ball game. Brewers and Diamondbacks. Trevor McGill trying to send this game to extra innings. He'll get 8, 9, and 1, which is Kepler, Troy, and then Marte for the Diamondbacks here in this bottom of the ninth inning. The way this game started, it looked like there were going to be a lot of runs scored, especially from the Brewers side of it. And again, remember, Garrett Mitchell hit a 2-run home run in the second inning. It looked like he had hit a 3-run home run in the third inning, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. brought one back. He went way up over the wall and brought one back into play. He just made another nice catch on a ball that was back at the wall off Jackson Churrio's bat in the top of the ninth inning. McGill will face Max Kepler here to lead off the bottom of the ninth, and McGill's first pitch is a fastball low. It's 1-0. Trevor's been in a good spot as well. Brewers' back part of their bullpen has been nails as of late. Here's the 1-0. That is going to be challenged by Contreras. Brewers have one challenge remaining.
Throw the ball, the catch is challenging.
And Williams going to win this one. This will be a... We'll wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. It's a strike.
Pitch is a strike. Counts 1-1. Milwaukee has one challenge remaining.
Challenge brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Max Kepler. McGill brings home the pitch, and a fly ball to center. Hit well. Mitchell's back at the track, at the wall, reaches up. He made the catch and banged up against the wall in the process. Garrett Mitchell tracking it all the way. Dead center, just to the right of the 407 sign as we look out upon the field. And he made the catch and banged up against the wall with his back right as he made the catch as well. It was a tremendous catch from Mitchell for the first out of the inning. Here's Tommy Troy. First pitch in there for a strike on a fastball, and it's 0-1.
It's like these outfielders are trying to one-up each other all night.
Goodness. This has been a game of almosts so far. The 0-1 is a liner into a diving catch by Joey Ortiz at the hot corner. Oh my goodness, Joey. Full extension to his left. It was like he was Superman making that catch and falling to the ground. There are 2 outs. That is a highlight reel catch by Joey Ortiz. Here's Ketel Marte. McGill has used just 5 pitches so far. First offering to Marte is in there for a strike with a curveball, and it's 0-1. Trevor needs one more out to send it to the 10th. There is action in the Diamondbacks bullpen. 0-1. This is a liner over the glove of Pratt and into center field. It's a base hit for Marte, and that will get Perdomo to the plate. So the winning run is aboard for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. Perdomo 0 for 4 tonight. And this is the guy you want to take care of. You don't want to face Corbin Carroll if you're Trevor McGill. Perdomo hitting from the left side. The first pitch is a strike with a fastball at 98 on the outside edge.
Pitch is thrown a strike. The batter's challenging.
And this is going to be close. Perdomo might win this one. It is very close. It is still a strike.
Pitch is a strike. Arizona's out of challenges. Counts 0-1.
That is a boom by a very small margin. I mean, razor thin boom. No balls and 1 strike on Perdomo. There goes the runner. McGill not paying attention. Now he steps off, throws, but he threw it to the other side of the bag. Pratt makes the catch, but Marte able to take second base on Trevor McGill. McGill stepped off, and if he makes a good throw, they've got him, but he never got his body all the way swung around, so he kind of yanked on that throw and threw it to the other side of the bag. So now the winning run is in scoring position. No balls and 1 strike on Perdomo. The pitch is a little low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball at 100, and it was down below the zone. Good job to not use the challenge there by Contreras. Here's the 1-1. And a liner down the right field line, foul. Whew. That would have ended the game if it was a fair ball, but it was plenty foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Perdomo. Boy, it is tense right now at Chase Field. The crowd, 31,000 plus, making as much noise as they've made all night long. McGill trying to get it to the 10th. Perdomo steps back into the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. McGill kicks, delivers, swung on and fouled back into the net. Somehow he got a piece of that fastball that was up and in. It's a pretty good job to fight that pitch off by Perdomo. It was not a strike, but once you committed to the swing, to be able to get a piece of it was pretty impressive. Here's the 1-2. And a ground ball to first. Couple of hops out to Bowers. He's got it. He'll run to the bag and retire to Perdomo. And we go to the 10th inning here in Arizona. Tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance. Stepping back into the play-by-play, here's Josh Mauer.
Thank you very much, Lane. Well, it's the right-hander Taylor Clark, at one point a minor leaguer in the Brewers organization a few years ago. He is coming in to pitch. The automatic runner at second base will be William Contreras, and you've got Jake Bowers, Garrett Mitchell, and Blake Perkins due up. Lefty-lefty switch hitter against the right-hander Clark. Nobody has scored since Arizona rallied for 3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It was wild early, and then the pitching dominated late. And now we work overtime in the opener of this 11-game road trip. Jake Bowers has had a great night. He is 3 for 4 in the pitch. Inside corner from Clark with a cutter, 0-1. Single, RBI single. And then after a ground out, he had a leadoff double in the 8th, but then thrown out between third base and home plate. The 0-1. Chop foul right off of his lower body in the box. The changeup, it's 0-2 here from Taylor Clark, who replaces the closer Paul Sewald. Each team used its closer in the 9th. Sewald gave up a single. Trevor McGill gave up a single. Neither allowed a run. So you got to figure it out for the 10th pitching-wise each side, and it's Clark for Torey Lovello. Contreras at second, the 0-2. Taken low on a changeup. Taylor Clark this season having a great year. 38 prior outings, 2-1 with a 2.17 earned run average. Never got up to the big leagues with the Brewers. Now the 1-2. Check swing. It hits his bat, goes foul. It was coming in on Bowers, but he had committed enough to it. The bat went around and he made some contact and squibbed it wide of third to stay alive. We always say it in extra innings, you feel like it's the visiting team, get at least one. Bowers trying to advance Contreras at worst. Clark with a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider down and in. One out in the 10th. And here comes the hottest hitter going for the Brewers, Garrett Mitchell, but the runner is still at second base after a big pitch from Taylor Clark. Brewers in extra innings this season have been good. They're 6-3. They had won 5 in a row before that Cubs heartbreaker last Sunday. Tied at 3 in the pitch. Mitchell took right down the middle for a strike. Another Taylor Clark changeup. Garrett is 1 for 3 with a walk. It was a 2-run home run in the second, and very nearly a 3-run homer in the third. The 1 pitch is low. Keeps throwing that change of speed, and that time Mitchell spits on the pitch. 1-1. That ball in that third inning that Gurriel Jr. leapt and caught reaching over the fence is the play of the night. Otherwise, Garrett have 2 long balls. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Cutter in under the hands. 1-2. Brewers have Grant Anderson getting loose in their bullpen. It appears he'll be the pitcher in the bottom of the 10th. They've used the quote-unquote leverage part of the pen already. The 1-2. Mitchell takes that changeup down low and backhanded by the catcher Moreno. 2-2. Blake Perkins, who has yet to bat tonight, is in the on-deck circle. 3-3 as it's been since the bottom of the third inning. We play the top of the 10th with 1 out. And Contreras still standing at second base. Clark set. The 2-2. Down and in. Slider near the back foot. Mitchell didn't offer. It's a full count. It has been an incredible week offensively for Garrett Mitchell. Does he have one more big swing in him here in the 10th inning tonight in Phoenix? You don't have to give in to him if you're Clark and the Diamondbacks. Let's see what they elect to throw. We haven't seen many fastballs yet from Taylor Clark. It's been off-speed heavy. Contreras leads from second. Now ready. 3-2. Hit on the ground to first base. Backhanded nicely by Vargas. Gets up, feeds the pitcher in time for the out. It was a sprawling backhand on his knees by Ildemaro Vargas on a ball that was scorched. 110 miles an hour by Mitchell. Runner to third, but with 2 out. A game-defining play potentially there by Vargas. If that gets by him, Contreras will score, you'd think, if it goes into right. And so it's Blake Perkins trying to be the hero in the 10th inning in his first at-bat of the game. And the catcher, Moreno, and the pitching coach also, Brian Kaplan, coming out to visit with Taylor Clark. You do have Cooper Pratt on deck. I wonder if they're going to think about walking Perkins to get a righty versus righty matchup against a rookie. Everybody converging on the mound. It's a Potawatomi Sportsbook trip to the mound. Wall-to-wall screens, elite dining, and over 95 kiosks. It's fans' dream. Potawatomi Sportsbook, become a legend. Game tied at 3, and now that automatic runner is at third base. And the Brewers tonight are now 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. They have had chances upon chances. Well, the pitching coach is headed back to the dugout. Blake Perkins, who's been hitting very well of late, but the better side for him has been right-handed. He is batting left-handed here. On the season, Perkins' batting average 159, a homer and 11 driven in. And they will go after him. Taylor Clark is ready in the first pitch. Swing and a foul straight back into the screen. It is 0-1. If you don't get this run in, the odds of the Diamondbacks winning go up almost exponentially. 3-3 the score, so Perkins in a massive moment here in the visitors' 10th inning. Clark's 0-1. Chopped very softly towards the pitcher. Played by Clark near the line. Underhand flip to first in time to get Perkins. And that retires the side. That's how you win games in extra innings as the home team. Put up a 0, and Taylor Clark, former Nashville Sound, did just that, getting Bowers, Mitchell, and Perkins in order. So Arizona tries to win it against Grant Anderson as we go to the bottom of the 10th, tied at 3 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance. Trying to get a scoreless extra inning. He needs to do it to keep the game going. After the Brewers failed to get their automatic runner home in the top of the 10th, we remain tied at 3. Geraldo Perdomo is going to be the automatic runner at second, and the Brewers will not deal with the leadoff batter, Corbin Carroll. He's due up, but they'll just walk him. So Carroll immediately said, go to first base, by the home plate umpire, David Rackley. Grant Anderson is the pitcher. Now you're going to have Moreno, Gurriel, and Arenado, 3 right-handed hitters due, and Pat Murphy, before Grant Anderson deals with Gabriel Moreno, comes out of the dugout for a very rare visit. He brings the whole infield in, and they're going to talk about how they're going to play this, both defensively and perhaps how you're going to pitch to Moreno. This is not to make a pitching change. He couldn't even if he wanted to. They're talking shop, and it's Murph. We haven't seen him, Lane, I don't think in a couple of weeks, even come out of the dugout for a visit.
No, he has stayed in the dugout because of the back and hip issue. And as everybody knows, he had back surgery on that last off day, but this is a pretty big spot. He wanted to come out and talk to his infield and talk to Grant Anderson.
So you've got Perdomo at second, Carroll at first. They don't care about Carroll. And here comes the catcher, Gabriel Moreno, who's 2 for 4 tonight, including an RBI single. In case he's bunting, corners are going to come charging in. From third, Ortiz, from first, Bowers. Bowers is so close to home plate. First pitch, no bunts, and he takes Anderson's sinker in there for a strike. Boy, that's got to be scary for Jake Bowers that he was not squaring around. I'm telling you, Jake was maybe more than halfway from first base to home plate. Anderson ready. Nobody's out. The high set in the 0-1. Swung on, and it's fouled by Moreno back over the screen. 94 on the sinker. It's 0-2. Anderson has had his struggles of late, but over the last 2 seasons, he's also had some great moments on the mound for the Brewers out of that bullpen. This is 34th outing of the year. Timeout granted to Moreno before the 0-2 pitch. Anderson 1-3. He's got a 3.53 earned run average on the season. Now the corners are going to back up fully to double play depth. No chance of a bunt. 0-2. Gurriel Jr. is in the on-deck circle for the Diamondbacks. Tied at 3, bottom 10. Anderson pitching for the punch-out. Here's the 0-2. Chopped softly towards shortstop. Pratt flips to second. Turang relays to first. It's in time. A double play. A high 2-bounce chopper by Moreno, the catcher, and the Brewers able to turn it 6-4-3, winning run to third, but with 2 out. What a big one rolled up by Grant Anderson. And that was a whisker at first base, by which they retired Moreno. Man, is that huge for Anderson and the Brewers. Then it's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. to the plate, 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. Perdomo is at third base. 1 out sends us to the 11th inning. The pitch. Sweeper catches the inside part of the plate. Strike 1 is called. Double plays brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Well, Gurriel's been a defensive hero multiple times tonight. Now trying for a walk-off. The 0-1. Swung on, popped up on the infield. It's for Cooper Pratt at shortstop, looking up into the roof. Now waiting and squeezing Pratt. What a job, Grant Anderson. Exceptional. Faces 2 batters to get the 3 outs, including that big double play, and will play 11. Winning run stranded at third base. Still tied at 3. The 11th inning comes your way next, right around midnight, back at home on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance. Road trip tied at 3, as it's been since the bottom of the 3rd. Well, the Brewers playing 11 innings for just the 2nd time all season. They had that 12-inning marathon in Las Vegas against the A's back on the 8th of June. That's the only other time they've needed more than 1 extra inning in a game this season. You got the sidearm right-hander Ryan Thompson in to pitch for the Diamondbacks. Blake Perkins, the automatic runner, at second. And Cooper Pratt's going to lead off. Diamondbacks think he'll bunt. First pitch, no bunt. And he takes a sinker at the knees for a strike. 90 miles an hour from the sidewinding Ryan Thompson. We've seen him a lot over the years. Having another fine season out of that Diamondbacks bullpen. The 0-1. Pratt swings and misses through a slider. Out away from him, it's 0-2. It's a tough matchup for Cooper. Really is. I mean, it's tough for any right-handed batter against this guy. You just can't pick up the baseball very well out of that motion. Cooper's never seen him before. 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. Tried that safety squeeze last time in the 8th. That didn't work. Trying to advance the runner any way he can. The 0-2. Way outside on a slider. Sprawling catch by Gabby Moreno. Joey Ortiz is next. And then Christian Yelich, third up in the 11th inning. We're tied at 3. Thompson is ready. The 1-2. Lifted foul. He got a piece of that slider and hits it into the seats down the right field line to Cooper Pratt. How about that work by Grant Anderson? Winning run at second. Nobody out in the 10th. They do an intentional walk. That worked. Set up a double play that they turned and then got a pop out. Another 1-2. Hit him. Oh, inside, and it got him in the legs. Missed to the arm side did Ryan Thompson with that sidearm sinker. Cooper Pratt is hit. Doesn't seem to bother him too much. 91 miles an hour on the gun. So it's first and second. Nobody out. Now maybe Joey Ortiz will be asked to try to lay down a bunt. Hit batters brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Okay, so first and second for the Brewers. Ortiz used as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, struck out with a couple of men on base. That was against the lefty Brandon Garcia. Now facing the right-hander Ryan Thompson. Corner infielders charging in. Thompson ready. He does square in the pitch. Bunted beautifully. Third base side. Barehanded by Thompson. Throws to first a little wide, but second baseman who took the throw, Marte, comes back onto the bag, and they get the out. Sacrifice is successful by Ortiz. A barehanded play by the pitcher, Thompson, on that bunt, and he threw off balanced wide towards the second base side of the bag, but Marte, nice catch. So the sacrifice good. Second and third, one out for Yelich. It's a much better matchup for Yelich, and they're just going to walk him. So it's Jackson Chourio coming up with the bases full of Brewers and one out in the 11th in a tie game. Chourio's had a rough night at the plate. He's 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. However, the last time he batted in the 9th against Paul Sewald, he hit one to the fence in left field that got caught. Bases loaded, the pitch. Swing and a foul. Back into the screen on a sinker that he had down the middle. 0-1 the counts. Brewers tonight have been waiting for that big swing to come. The moment they are 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Now the pitch. Down low. One ball and one strike. Infield a double play depth. Game tied at 3. Thompson set. The 1-1 coming. Chopped very softly up the third baseline. A swinging bunt. Throw to the plate by the pitcher. He threw it wide of the catcher Moreno. 1 run in. Here comes a second run to the plate. Pratt. He'll score on the error. And Yelich ends up at third base. You have to score it. An infield hit for Chourio on a swinging bunt. Give him an RBI. And then trying that barehanded throw to the plate, Thompson threw it wide. A second run scores on his error. And the Brewers lead it 5-3 in the 11th inning. That's what it took to break the ice. A swinging bunt after all those deep fly balls that got caught. And Thompson, who had just made a barehanded play on the sac bunt, that time made a poor throw. Now here's Terang. Second and third, and the pitch is down and in, ball 1.
Yeah, infield comes in for the Diamondbacks now. I mean, the Brewers have a chance to blow this thing open a little bit. And this is a very favorable matchup for Terang.
Bryce tonight has gone 2 for 5, a pair of singles. You're right, infield all the way up. Runners at second and third. The 1-0. Down low on a slider. Could just walk him.
Terang doubled the only time he's faced Ryan Thompson in his career.
Perkins scored on the infield hit. Pratt scored on the E1. The 2-0. Flied foul. He went after him with that sinker. That was one to hit for Terang, but he lofted it into the seats. Down the left field line, 2-1. Nobody's throwing in the Brewers bullpen, so Grant Anderson is going to get another inning when we go to the bottom of the 11th.
Give him everything you can to work with.
No doubt about it. The more the merrier. I think you feel so much better with at least one more. Yelich at third, Chourio second. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Sidearm sinker from the bearded right-hander Ryan Thompson, and he snuck it by him, so it's 2-2. Contreras in the on-deck circle. Second and third, one out, 2-2 pitch. Down and in near the feet of Bryce Terang, who hopped back out of the way from ball 3. It's a full count. First base is open. I'll say it again. You don't necessarily have to feel like you need to come after Terang here. Maybe Thompson's going to see if he'll chase. Here it is, 3-2 pitch. Chopped softly foul up the first baseline. Threw him that sinker. And it was about 5 feet wide of the chalk. So those 2 runs that just scored on the swinging bunt by Chourio, the first runs for either team in this game since the 3rd inning. We're in the 11th, 5-3 Milwaukee. Thompson ready, another big 3-2. Here it is. Line drive into left, a base hit by Terang. 1 run in, around third Chourio, and Gurriel's throw to the plate is close but late. Advancing to second on that throw is Bryce Terang. His 3rd single of the night, drives in 2, and the Brewers have a 7-3 11th inning lead in Phoenix.
Oh boy, Josh, did Jackson Chourio get a great read and jump from second base on that base hit from Bryce Terang.
Wow. And that's that patented opposite field approach for Bryce Terang. When things are going well for Bryce, he'll use that part of the field, go to left, a beautiful swing against that sidearm sinker, and he lined it in there well in front of Gurriel. 2 runs in, make it a 4-run 11th inning, and the pitching coach coming out to visit Ryan Thompson. Brian Kaplan's out there.
That is when he's at his best. You are right, Josh. And it is pretty when he stays back and serves that ball. Or hey, that wasn't serving the ball into left. He drove that ball into left and hit it very hard at 102.
Again, it just felt like you were waiting for that one big swing, and as it turns out, maybe it was the swinging bunt that broke the dam open. Finally, and then Terang adds on. Pitching coach back to the dugout. Here's William Contreras. Still only 1 out, runner at second. The pitch is popped foul into the seats first base side. Contreras a couple of singles tonight. He's 2 for 5. Bryce Terang 3 hits tonight, owner of a 6-game hitting streak suddenly. 7-3 Milwaukee. Thompson is set. The 0-1 will have to wait. He'll bluff back towards second base. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Brewers Radio Network. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Contreras swings through a slider. 0-2 with Lane Grindle and producer engineer Ken Sommerfeld. Josh Mauer at Chase Field in Phoenix. Good morning to you back at home. We've got Brewers after dark, Brewers after midnight. They lead 7-3 in the 11th. Thompson's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Fooled him with that slider again, and Contreras strikes out. It'll be the 2nd out of the 11th inning for Ryan Thompson and bring Jake Bauers to the plate. In a game that has had multiple twists and turns, Kyle Harrison recorded only 8 outs through nearly 40 pitches in the bottom of the 3rd inning before he had to be removed. The bullpen has been exceptional, and now the Brewers have scored 4 in the 11th. Bauers has 3 hits, and he'll take way inside on the sinker from Ryan Thompson. Two singles and a double, 3 for 5 for Jake Bauers tonight. Terang at second base and the 1-0. Dipped in knee high with a slider. The ball and a strike. Due up in the bottom of the 11th inning for the Diamondbacks. Arenado, Vargas, and Kepler. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Gurriel would be the automatic runner. The 1-1. Drilled the inside corner with a sinker that time, did Thompson. To Jake Bauers, 1-2. 4 runs across. The 1-2 pitch. Bowers takes strike 3. Slider knee high. A lot of movement from that sidearm motion, and it split the plate. So that'll retire the side. Back-to-back strikeouts for Thompson. Finally extinguished the flame, but the Brewers score 4. And it's going to be Grant Anderson trying to finish his own win. Bottom 11, 7-3 Milwaukee on the Brewers Radio Network. Presented by American Family Insurance. Game road trip by winning in 11. Maybe Lane, if that happens, that'll be a good omen. It is 7-3
of the trip.
That's what I'm saying. If you win game 1 of 11 in 11.
I like it.
Gurriel Jr. is the automatic runner at second. Grant Anderson, second inning of relief. Nolan Arenado's at the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss at a sweeper down and away. Brewers do not care one iota what happens to Gurriel. Truly. Just get batters out here if you're Grants. The 0-1. Just a little bit low with that sweeper. Anderson with the double play and the pop outs on 2 balls hit to shortstop in the 10th inning. Might be as important as anything that's happened tonight, depending on what happens here. The 1-1 coming. Drilled to deep left field. This is back towards the corner. Chourio is watching it. It's hooking. It's foul. Just wide of the pole. Oh, home run distance for Arenado, but he missed it. Maybe 2 or 3 feet wide, and it's just a loud strike 2. Ooh.
We've seen too many big swings from that guy late in games against the Brewers.
We've got a monitor in the booth. Good look at the replay. Yeah, it was wide of that pole. Not by much. 1-2. Now the pitch. Line drive left. In comes Chourio. He's there. Makes the catch. Coming towards the infield. A cap-high grab by Jackson for the first out. 2 more to go for Grant and the Brewers. Staying at second is Gurriel. Again, he is completely irrelevant. And now it's Ildemaro Vargas. 2 for 4 tonight. A couple of singles for the left-handed hitting first baseman. First pitch by Anderson is outside, so Grant has retired 3 in a row to get 4 outs.
Jared Koenig is getting loose just in case out in that Brewers bullpen.
Vargas waits. 7-3 Brewers lead on the 1-0. Just a little bit low with a 4-seam fastball. It is 2-0. Diamondbacks need 2 base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. That's how important that insurance hit from Terang was. 2-0 coming. Lined into right field for a base hit. 3rd of the night for Vargas. To 3rd and being held up is Gurriel as Blake Pearl. They're going to send him home. The Brewers lobbed it in. Again, they didn't care about that run. Perkins just lofts it to the middle, and so Gurriel scores. It is 7-4. RBI single for Ildemaro Vargas. That's the first run that the Brewers bullpen has allowed all night. And again, the bullpen first entered in the third inning. And that's an unearned run. Runner at first, one out. Max Kepler, the hitter. He'll take outside, ball one. So you give Vargas the RBI on that. Kepler 0 for 2 since pinch hitting back in the sixth, and the pitch swung on, popped up a mile high first base side. Bowers is going over. Bowers is reaching over towards his dugout, and he made a backhanded catch right at the fencing of the Brewers dugout. 2 out in the bottom of the 11th inning. Jake Bowers had to deal with that fence fast approaching. He also had to deal with the ball so high up that it looked like it could have hit one of the beams of the roof.
Yep.
Great concentration. 2 down, 7-4 Milwaukee, and now Tommy Troy, the rookie. Last hope. Runner takes off for second on a ball inside. No throw. They will allow Ildemaro Vargas to have second base on indifference. Troy tonight 0 for 3. Swings and misses at a sweeper, 1-1. He's also walked. This is the first game Tommy Troy's ever played against Milwaukee. And they want him to make the final out. Bottom 11, the 1-1. That's in there with a sinker. Knee high, 1-2. The Brewers 1 strike away. Trying to end a marathon with a celebration. The 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low on the sweeper. Ooh, Tommy Troy lays off of that. I'm not sure how. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7-4 Milwaukee in the 11th inning. The high set from Grant Anderson. His 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Sweeper. That was over the plate. Troy hit it into the screen. This is a huge out because if Troy could extend this game, then Ketel Marte would bat representing the tying run. You want to end it right here if you're Gramps. 2-2 again. Tried to check, but he committed on a sweeper down and away, and the ball game is over. Milwaukee with a 4-run 11th inning wins a thriller to start the series in the desert. Your final 7-4. Heroes aplenty out of that Brewers bullpen tonight. And this team, I'll tell you what, they've got gumption to beat the band. A night where there were opportunities squandered, it felt like countlessly. They hung in there, kept giving themselves chances, and they finally capitalized in that 11th inning against the side armor Ryan Thompson. Man, this Milwaukee team, they find different ways, shapes, and forms to win ball games. Lane, add that one to the list.
Yeah, when you fight and fight and fight, you're going to win a lot of games in a lot of different ways because this team refuses to ever be out of the fight. And they found a way yet again here tonight. Milwaukee Brewers baseball has been brought to you by American Family Insurance. Miller Lite, it's Miller time. Construction Business Group. Usinger's famous sausage. Usinger's in baseball, it's just not summer without them. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Menards. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Prevea Health. Wisconsin Infrastructure Investment Now. Delta Dental. Quick Trip. Pops Tire Service. West Bend Insurance, the silver lining. Smart 18. Steinhoffels. Toyota, Woodman's Food Market, Carbless, a premium ready-to-drink cocktail, Island Resort and Casino, Wisconsin Dental Association, Ironworkers Local 8, Cedar Crest Ice Cream, Wisconsin Biofuels, North Shore Adult Diapers, Concordia University of Wisconsin, Wisconsin Laborers District Council, Tsunami Express Car Wash, and Wisconsin's Dairy Farmers. Josh, the Brewers find a way tonight, and they get a big victory because of course they do. It was the first game of a series.
Of course they do, and of course they figured out a way to get it done on a night where things were just not going in their way. But they got it with that 4-run 11th inning, 7-4 the final. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Milwaukee. 4 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Diamondbacks tonight. Grant Anderson, the final 2 innings in that exceptional bullpen game that the Brewers put together, he gets the win to improve to 2-3. Ryan Thompson, the loss, he is 3-2. There was no save in a game that took 3 hours and 32 minutes to complete in front of 31,280 at Chase Field.
And Josh, we need our Smart 18 player of the game.
Multiple, lots of them. Everybody in the bullpen for the Brewers tonight.
Yeah.
After Kyle Harrison went just 2 2/3 innings, so that means bullpen went 8 1/3.
Don't ask
me.
Do
my math right?
I'm not a math guy.
They gave up just 1 unearned run between Chad Patrick, Aaron Ashby, Abner Uribe, Trevor McGill, and Grant Anderson. And I thought about just saying only Grant, but I didn't want to shortchange the other guys too.
Yeah, that makes sense. We can give like a honorary captain of the players of the game to Grant Anderson. Like just like a little bit more than the other guys. We'll give him